I can't believe I believed everything we ever left. We young and naive of me to think she was from your past. Silly of me to dream of one day having your kids. Love is so blind, it feels right when it's wrong. I can't believe I fell for your schemes. I'm smarter than that. Young and naive to believe that with me you're a changed man. Foolish of me to compete when you cheat, when who's winning. It took me some time, but now I'm moved on. Because I realize I got myself and that's all I got in the end. That's what I found out, and it ain't no need to cry. Think about that from now on. I'm gonna be my own best friend. Be myself and that's all I got in the end. That's what I found out, and it ain't no need to cry. Think about that from now on. I'm gonna be my own best friend. Controlling, and you say that you love me, but you don't. Your family told me one day I would see it on my own. Next thing I know, I'm dealing with the 3 kids in my own. Love is so blind, it feels right when it's wrong. Now that it's over, stop calling me, come pick up your clothes. Ain't no need to front like you're still with me. All your homies know, even your very best friend tried to warn me on the low. Took me some time, but now I am strong. Because I realize I got myself and that's all I got in the end. That's what I found out, and it ain't no need to cry. I took a vow that from now on I'm gonna be my own best friend. Be myself and that's all I got in the end. That's what I found out, and it ain't no need to cry. I took a vow that from now on I'm gonna be my own best friend. Got me, myself, I know that I will never find myself. All the ladies, if you feel me, help me sing it out. I'm still with you. Yeah, you hurt me, but I learned a lot along the way. After all the rain, you'll see the sun come out again. I know that I will never disappoint myself.
Let it burn while I cry, 'cause I heard it screaming out your name. Hi, people. How you doing? Hi, Kim. Is that Kim? Hi, Kim. Hi, Riaz. How you doing? I can't hear the music at all. Is it too low now? Okay. Hi, hi, hi. Happy Saturday. So there's been a lot of conversations about hi, Mr. Steele. How you doing? Patriarchy. I want to talk about that today because I feel like uh a lot of people been using words that they don't know the meaning of and having whole arguments with you about things that they don't understand. And I'm not trying to be funny when I say that, but I'm just really starting to realize, like, hey, HT Baldwin, how you doing? I'm really starting to realize, like, a lot of times people are arguing things that they don't even understand at all, right? So, what I wanted to talk about today was this idea. First of all, what patriarchy is, and second of all, the way that black men absolutely fall into the patriarchy, participate in the patriarchy, and so do black women. That's the funny thing. Everybody does. White women, white men, black women, because we're socialized to do so. But anytime you try to have a conversation about the patriarchy with a black man, they're going to tell you that that's a white man's thing, has nothing to do with me, blah, 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 blah. So when I thought about it long enough, I came to the conclusion that people don't, first of all, this is a sidebar thing that maybe because I'm a thinker, it just frustrates me. I do not understand the lazy, like why it's so normal to be so lazy, like to be so ignorant on a thing and so confident on that same thing. Like, this is the age of the cognitive dissonance, y'all. HT Baldwin, like I'm not even trying to sound elitist, but this is why I'm coming to these conclusions this late in the game, right? Because I do not walk around expecting people to be stupid, or I don't talk to people thinking that they don't understand basic things. I truly don't, right? So it typically takes me a long time to understand, like, oh, the reason this person keeps missing my point is because they don't even understand. Like that's the crazy part. Like they don't even understand. But they're always jumping up. They want to be the first people in the conversation. They want to be the loudest voice arguing with you when they don't even truly understand the thing they're arguing about. And to me, that is like a waste of my time, just on an intellectual level, on an energetic level, because I would prefer to talk to someone who at least knows what I'm talking about. Number one. Number two, knows what he's talking or she's talking about. And number three, if at any point they don't, it's like knows how to concede, even if it's later. Like I remember like a week and a half ago, I think it was D Chicago was in the chat trying to correct me on something with the reading statistics. And I had all the confidence in the world and I was dead ass wrong. You know what I did? The next show, I had to tell D Chicago, oh, I apologize. I didn't understand, but I went and looked at what you were saying. Now I understand. I apologize. Let's correct that information. That's what mature adults do. Like that's typically how mature adults handle, because no one's going to be correct all the time. It's okay. Hi, Freezy. Oh my goodness, y'all. Freezy is the reason this live got pushed back like an hour because I was in Bible study and it was so great. I couldn't pull myself away. It was a great message today, a conversation I definitely needed to hear and be a part of. He was talking about generational curses and generational blessings. But the generational curses part was like very interesting. We were talking about how, like, you could, addiction was a main thing, and that could show up in many different ways. That could be something passed down generationally, right? Or medical illnesses, mental health issues, etc. And what that looks like, right? So it was very. I feel recharged after that conversation for real because I came from work feeling drained, and I'm grateful to God for my clients. So it's not anything my clients did per se. I don't know. I can't explain to you guys, but I just felt very drained. I love them. Like they didn't do anything wrong, but it was just a draining day. But anyway, so that's why I was late. But I felt like spiritually recharged after the Bible study. So it's Freezy's fault that I'm late. But yes, so I wanted to talk about the term patriarchy is not a new term, right? But again, HD Boy One, I'm realizing that a lot of people who are engaging in these conversations do not understand half of the words they're using. They have a, or if they do, they have a very limited, very minuscule understanding, which is fine. Nobody understands everything, right? My issue is though, maybe you shouldn't be the one wanting to debate and argue about things you don't really know much about. You know what I mean? Um, yes. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about this HT Boy. I gotta stop reading your comments because me and you always on the same frequency. Okay, always on the same vibration. We're just like you're like my twin flame. I feel. He said, "I'll be honest. I had to stop making regular visits to certain spaces because of the redundant dumb. Yeah, me too. Because it starts to psychologically affect you, and because I have that understanding, I'm doing my best to protect my mind. Like you know what I mean. Like so, when I realize I'm even getting frustrated listening to something, I'm learning to just turn it off. Sometimes I'm getting better at that. Or if I'm hearing the same conversation I've been hearing for years, I don't want to be brainwashed. So I'm trying to protect my mind. I will just turn it off, right? So I've been being way more aware of these things right now too, especially because I understand your mental diet is just as important as your nutritionist diet, right? What you're feeding your mind, your spirit, your body, they're all as equally as important, right? So the more I understand this spiritually, I really am trying to be I'm not doing the best job, but I'm doing a better job at like limiting how much of that goes into my psyche per day. Yeah, you were starting to feel slow, right? I'm telling you, I end up in conversations sometimes, and then I just have to blame myself. Like, what are you? Why? What are you doing here? I can't even be mad at nobody but me. Like, what are you doing? This is not somebody you would be talking to. Hi, April. INC says, "Can you please explain patriarchy and how patriarchy affects women?" Brittany B, be quiet. It's talking about I tried to tell you I tried. Listen, Brittany B. Okay, I have a small little channel in my small little corner, but I want to do. This is what I've accepted. YouTube is something that's like a fun hobby for me. However, it doesn't pay me, so it can't be a priority. But it is something I enjoy. So when I can, I'm just gonna hop on here and talk my ish. That's kind of where I'm at with it, Brittany. I don't have high expectations, but for the things I do care about, it is an outlet, at least for me, to get my thoughts and opinions out, you know, to my little small corner of people who care about what I'm talking about. And because, yeah, in real life, I think most of us here can relate to this. Most people we know, we don't engage in half of these conversation topics with ever, right? So I guess maybe that's why we all gravitate here for some reason. So there's that. Okay, but yes, let's get into what is the patriarchy. So he said, how does it affect women? I wanted to talk about how it affects everyone, but specifically, every time I mention the word patriarchy to a black man, he tells me that's a white man's thing. It has nothing to do with me. And so I kind of just put two and two together, and I said, oh, they don't really understand what patriarchy is if they believe that, right? And like I said earlier, the more I'm understanding patriarchy, we all participate in it. Black women participate in it. Black men participate in it. White women, black women, all the women, like we are socialized to uphold patriarchy ourselves. Okay. So this is not a pointing a finger at men day. Okay. Y'all know I don't have mine in that kind. Y'all know I don't mind having that kind of day, but this ain't that kind of day. I'm really trying to get an understanding on what patriarchy is and where black men and black women fit under the whole thing, right? So I'm gonna share my screen because I try to go to Chat GPT. Wait, I think this might be Google Gemini. But I did this because I just want to do my best. Um, I don't always explain things the best way. So I figure if I could like read definitions, that'll do a better job at getting the point across. So, okay, it says patriarchy is a social system where men hold primary power in political leadership, moral authority, social privilege, social privilege, and control of property. Literally meaning rule of the father. It positions men as the default human, often excluding women and queer people from central power and decision making. Does everybody understand that? So, long story short, patriarchy is just like it's the idea that men hold the power when it comes to politics, moral authority, social privileges, and control of property. Right? It's just we all know that we all grew up like the man is the most important thing, right? Everybody knows this, and this goes back like way. You guys ever seen any shows about a king? And when he gets a woman pregnant, what's that number one goal of that girl, the wife, is to give birth to a boy, right? Nobody cares about her having a girl. It's to give birth to a boy. We need to create an heir, right? And even in China, I think at a certain point, like the birth of girls was like everywhere. They prioritize men, they prioritize boys, right? That men, the male gender, the male species is the most important human, always, everywhere, right? All the time. That is what patriarchy is. Now, under this uh ideology, you could even look in religion. Religion mirrors that as well, right? And mostly every religious doctrine I could think of will have the man as the one ahead of everyone else. So it's like man, woman, child. So religion supports the idea that the male is the top priority. Uh, Societies, even in royalty, just socially, having a male child is like the top priority. Okay, that's it's just what it is, right? And we don't know if that came from being socialized via religion, or I don't think so. Eugene said, I remember saying, I gotta start reading these damn comments. I remember saying a while back that the patriarchy was corrupt. Now, is it safe to say the patriarchy is stagnated? I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? I have some clips to make it interesting. Okay. I went to Instagram and I just wanted to like get a bunch of people's different opinion, ideology, and definition or experience with the patriarchy. Okay. Um, but yeah, I also looked up how is it harmful to women. So it said quick things like economic and professional limits, right? Um, it includes the pink tax, women's products costing more, the gender pay gap, and other underrepresentation in leadership. And because think about that, even to this day, as much as they want to say this is a feminist country or a feminism is such a problem, look at the leadership in damn near any company that you work for. 9 times out of 10, the higher you go up, the less women you're going to see. And I mean all the way up. Like who's the CEO, who's the CFO, who's the COO. Like when you get on that level, a lot that table is going to be mainly men. That has not changed. That has not changed. Right? So men are still, as much as they're crying about feminism, when we get into like who truly holds the power and distribution of wealth and who holds all of not all of majority of the wealth, it is still going to be males. Okay, black men are also included in that. They're not exempt. However, black men have a unique relationship with the patriarchy because the patriarchy is set up in a way where on the one hand it hurts them, and then on the other hand it benefits them. So it's a weird, black men specifically have a very unique relationship with the patriarchy. But They do benefit from the patriarchy. They're just also hurt by the patriarchy. Hi, Strata. How are you? Okay, so I'm using some of my clips. We're gonna get back to that later. I know I said a lot. But what do you guys think so far? I hope I'm not losing you. I know I'm saying a lot. And Freezy, are you going live? And if so, can you tell me what time? I was not gonna stay here too long, but this was something that was on my mind like all week, and I just didn't get a chance to come back until right now. So I'm trying to squeeze this in. Trying to come on here when I can, y'all. I don't have a set schedule as of right now. But am I making sense or no? Are men not more competitive? Sure. Sure, men are more competitive. What does that mean? Are you saying like they should be at the head of everything because they're more competitive? So here's this one guy. Looks like he was teaching in a prison or something. Let's play him. Damn, you want to jump ahead, fighter? You want to have a debate about patriarchy, and we're still just trying to understand patriarchy. I am. See, look at you. This is the patriarchy oppressing me. He said it's natural selection. Okay, could be. So let's see what he says. It says patriarchy as a culture is the root, and this is a man. His name is Richie Seda, I believe. He says patriarchy as a culture is the root of much oppression and more complex than individual men. I love that because patriarchy is a system. And when we have these conversations, nobody's acknowledging that it's not a person, it's a system. Okay? Men are the most privileged and therefore the most responsible for transforming patriarchy. And it is a cultural transformation we must all commit to for it to work. It requires care, patience, discipline, and commitment to each other. It is in all of our best interests. Okay, so let's see what he's talking about.
We all do this individually. As individual men, we.
Oh, I gotta start it over because they go off of the whiteboard so fast, but I want you guys to see what's on his whiteboard.
Individually, as individual.
He said we all do this. We all bond over this as individual men. So he has toxic masculinity up there, violence, objectifying women, and money. So he has three things: violence, objectifying women, and money.
Men, we buy into this stuff. But when the whole culture around us buys into this, including women and all that, kids, we describe that culture as a patriarchal culture. What's some other stuff that grows out of that?
Oppression oppressed me in a way where I was not even able to express my emotions. It specifically oppresses women. How many female presidents have there been in the United States of America?
Gay bashing. I mean, not only just with dudes, but in church, wherever you are.
Somebody said gay bashing.
Homophobia. So gang banging is one. Like domestic violence is one. You gotta put her in check, put her in her place, whatever.
You know, she was dressed like she wanted it. Like you take.
She was dressed like she wanted it. How many times have we heard that, ladies? Well, why was she wearing that? What was she doing there? Why she had that on? She knew what she was doing. Those are like normalized ideas under a patriarchy, right? Those are things men would say to rationalize their poor behavior.
Taking the blame off the act you committed and putting it on the person that's the victim of it.
And this is a prisoner. He said it's like taking the blame off of the act you committed and putting it on the victim.
That specific kind of victim blaming is called rape culture. People.
Rape culture. Wow. That specific kind of victim blaming is called rape culture. It says people who rape are not just these random monsters.
Rape are not just these random monsters that climb up out of the swamp. These people exist in our culture. We make them think it's okay to do that when we do shit like, oh, well, what would, if a girl gets raped, we'll say things like, well, what was she wearing?
Oh my goodness. I didn't even watch this video, but I love that this is coming from a man in prison. He said the reason the men feel comfortable enough to rape and shit is because other men will say things like, well, what was she wearing? What was she doing? Immediately shifting the focus to the victim, to the woman. That is part of the patriarchy, right? Protecting men and not really caring about women. That's patriarchy.
Why was she even over there? Why was she drinking? Bomb. That's so true. Who grew up in a house where you were afraid of your parents? Or times when you felt like maybe you questioned if they loved you or not. So that's the kind of atmosphere of fear. We're all pretty clear on the problem. What's the solution? We all do this individually. As individual men, we buy into this stuff. But when the whole culture around us buys into this, including women and all that, kids, we describe that culture as a patriarchal culture. What's some other stuff that grows out of that?
Oppression depressed me in a way.
So when we're having a conversation about patriarchy, are we considering those things? The things that are normalized? He said money, violence, and objectifying women, right? And those maybe are some of the more negative parts of it, because I don't think it's all bad. But are we considering that? Or like he said, R word culture, victim blaming. That's a very normalized thing in the patriarchy, right? Because women are damn near not people. Yes, actually, I saw that. Hi, Roxy. How you doing? Mr. Center of the World, you about to get blocked again. I should have never unblocked you because I seen what you was writing about me. I don't understand you niggas. Like, if y'all don't like me so much, why y'all be around? Like, why? Y'all go out of y'all way to be around me. Like, even when I go anywhere else, like the other day on Izzy's show, like y'all just foam at the mouth at the idea of being able to talk to me or say something that I'm gonna hear. Like, yeah, it's weird. Y'all are some weird ass niggas. Like, I really want to block you again. Actually, you should leave. Because your ass got accused of stalking a woman online, and every time I see you, you making a joke out of it like it's fucking funny to do that. Something's wrong with you niggas. I really don't like it. So anything of force against someone's will is a violation of the one who committed the crime. If you have no self-control, that is personal and individual. Yeah, that sounds good, but when men, do you notice none of us know this man? None of us know this man in this video, right? But we've all heard those words he said before, right? None of us know him, but we've all heard that before. We've heard, well, what was she wearing? She must have wanted it. Why was she even over there? Right? We've all heard those things before because those are normalized ideologies under the patriarchy. That's what you do. You uphold men and you suppress women, even when they're victims. The man is still more important, even when there's a victim. Here's another one. Let's see what this black man had to say about it.
What is patriarchy? Let me tell you something people get wrong about patriarchy. It's not about men hating women. It's about a system that teaches men to dominate and teaches everyone else to adapt. Patriarchy is a social, political, and economic system where power, authority, and resources are organized around male dominance. Not individual behavior, not personality, a structure. And it's one of the oldest global hierarchies in human history, older than capitalism, colonialism, and because it's ancient, to some, it feels normal. How does patriarchy show up? Patriarchy decides whose voice carries weight, whose anger is justified, whose safety is prioritized, whose careers are accelerated, who does unpaid emotional labor, who's expected to sacrifice, and who's expected to lead. It lives in grammar, tradition, family roles, pay gaps, jokes, laws, and expectations. And it can show up in relationships when women are nagging, but men are setting boundaries. It can show up in workplaces when men are leaders and women are too much. It shows up in society when a woman's safety is her responsibility and a man's behavior is boys will be boys. People don't see it because patriarchy benefits men even when they don't ask for it. It trains women to normalize things that harm them. The word for this is gendered conditioning. when cultures teach us to perform our gender in a way that maintains the hierarchy. Men are taught dominance, women are taught endurance. That's not nature, that's training. But patriarchy doesn't just limit women, it emotionally starves men. It teaches men don't cry, don't talk, don't depend, don't feel, don't ask for help, all these things. This is why so many men struggle with intimacy, communication, and vulnerability. The system gives men power, but strips them of emotional literacy. So remember, patriarchy isn't just a feeling, it's a system, it's a framework. And once you see the framework, you can't unsee the way it shapes relationships, workplaces, and culture.
Damn, that was a really good explanation. What you guys think about that? So women are harmed, we just adapt. This is why. You generalize men bullshit. That's not normalized again amongst men. Yes, it is. And actually, Anton, you are exactly the man. It is normalized with men, and you are the typical definition of what they would define as toxic masculinity. So you will fall under the negative part of the patriarchy, actually. Okay. I've seen you sit around and condone a whole bunch of bullshit. So when I generalize you, I'm right. The hell? Mr. Center of the world. This is what I want y'all to understand. I'm not trying to be shady when I say this because it says Venus, I don't dislike you. This is the thing. I'm not a man, right? Because I'm going to assume that's a projection because y'all always say that as if I care. I don't care if you like me or not. I care about respect. Strangers who don't really benefit me, I don't care if they like me or not. I don't. I care about respect though. That's what I do actually care about. So I don't know what you guys think you're proving when you say things like, no, it's not that I don't like you. I'm not asking to be liked. I don't really you liking me doesn't move my needle one way or the other. It really doesn't. But what I can't understand is you're at least bold enough to be in the chat, but I'm not just only talking about you. I'm talking about men who every chance they get have something negative to say about me, which that's your opinion. You can do that. But then why are you here? Like I don't like the playing the both sides shit. If you don't fuck with me, then don't fuck with me. I don't care about you liking me. Not at all. You don't affect my life. Okay, cool. You said if I don't like you, why come? Because you don't. But it's not that I want you to. I want you to pick your side. I want any of you who pick that side to stay on it. That's the only thing I'm saying. You get to feel however you want about me. That is your right. I don't want to convince anybody to feel any other way. I'm not here to audition for no nigga, especially no nigga in the chat who I like. There's no benefit, right? But when I see you jumping up at any opportunity to talk shit about me, you don't need to be around. Like I said, you're just like them other dudes who I can't even go on other people's channels the way I would like to anymore because of this obsession that some of you men have with Venus. It really is something that needs to be like studied. Izzy's show the other day was the perfect example. Anytime I hit Izzy's panel, the men that hate my guts the most are the first ones jumping up there. They can't wait to get next to me. They can't wait to throw themselves in a conversation with me or talk about me in the chat or throw subliminals. Like the way you guys want my attention, it's pathetic. I want you to know that. If you don't like a person to the degree that y'all claim y'all hate my fucking guts, then why are you so desperate for my acknowledgement and my attention? Like, what kind of abusive relationship do you think we're in? Typically, people you can't stand, you should want to avoid. Stay away from me. Like, I don't want to talk to y'all ever. I don't want to interact with you ever. I don't throw myself in the middle of shit every time I see y'all somewhere because I do not want to interact. Genuinely, I don't. But for some reason, the men who don't like you want to be in your space all the fucking time. Make it make sense. Y'all are weird. Yeah, I'm not going back and forth with you. You full of shit. Um, and just next time I catch you in real time, I'm just gonna address it because you just gonna sit here and lie. But I'm gonna leave you alone because I do think something's wrong with you, Mr. Center of the World. I think you said you had some issues or something, so whatever. I'm gonna play the video again.
What is patriarchy? Let me tell you something people get wrong about patriarchy. It's not about men hating women. It's about a system that teaches men to dominate and teaches everyone else to adapt. Patriarchy is a social, political, and economic system where power, authority, and resources are organized around male dominance. Not individual behavior, not personality, a structure. And it's one of the oldest global hierarchies in human history, older than capitalism, colonialism, and because it's ancient, to some, it feels normal. How does patriarchy show up? Patriarchy decides whose voice carries weight, whose anger is justified.
Whose voice carries weight and whose anger is justified? Can we talk about how like growing up, did you guys experience this? Like, women are to be seen and not heard. Women are to be seen and not heard. Like that was just the part of the gender role. Like if you're a woman, the expectation is that you are to be silent, you are to be obedient, you are to be submissive, you are to be and any issue that you're having as the woman or the girl, it's really not that important. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. You do not bother the men with your trivial BS. Does that sound about right? I don't know. I just culturally, I've always seen that. Like your voice, I could tell you as somebody who have four brothers. It was the only girl for a long time. I was maybe that might be a little bit of childhood trauma creeping up. Because I was gonna say, I do not feel like I was heard a lot as the only girl around a bunch of boys. Hell no. So yeah, there's something to that. Like the boys are just prioritized. I feel in a way, not like I'm not saying people don't care about their daughters, but even when you looked up at the adults from a child's perspective, and what the adults were doing, it just always seemed like the man is the most important human at all times. Okay.
Whose safety is prioritized, whose careers are accelerated.
Right. The expectation is usually the woman sacrifices for him, right? Like everything is to uphold this man and what he has to do. And then everything else around him kind of submits and acquiesce and falls under that.
Who does unpaid emotional labor? Who's expected to sacrifice and who's expected to lead?
Who does unpaid emotional labor? Oh my goodness. I love his words, like the way he explains things. Who does unpaid emotional labor? The woman, right? The woman, the emotional labor. She has to like kind of smile and act like everything's okay, even though she's dying inside, right? Because she has to perform this femininity, pseudo femininity, because men's idea of what femininity is and what it actually is are two very different things, right? But so she has to fit into this role of femininity, whether she wants to or not. She has to smile. She has to be pleasant. She has to not acknowledge what she's feeling a lot of the times because the most important thing is him, the man, the men. Do not disrupt the men. Do not disturb the men. Do not. Mike said, I saw the opposite in my family. My sister and female cousins prioritize. I believe you, but I think most people would relate more to my story. Like, like the boys were the, priority.
It lives in grammar, tradition, family roles, pay gaps, jokes, laws, and expectations. And it can show up in relationships when women are nagging, but men are setting boundaries.
So it said when a woman speaks, she's nagging. When a man speaks, he's just setting a boundary.
It can show up in workplaces when men are leaders and women are too much. It shows up in society.
So if you're a man and you behave a certain way, you're a leader, you're assertive, you're dominant, you're doing what you're supposed to do. But if you're a woman in leadership, oh my God, you're too much. It reminds me of something. I saw a video one time with Beyonce, and she was talking about that. Like just even her on her level, like how hard it is as the boss.
When a woman's safety is her responsibility and a man's behavior is boys will be boys.
That a woman's safety is her behavior. Well, why'd you wear that? Well, why'd you go there? Well, why'd you? First of all, sir, I had on 3/4 the cloth. It was 2 p.m. You can only see my damn eyes. Okay. Oh, why'd you wear that though? Why were you over there? I work over there. Like it doesn't matter. The responsibility is always 100% on you to be responsible for your own safety. Even though in most of the time in a 1-to-1 to a man, you won't be safe. Like if you had to physically challenge him, like it's not, you're responsible for your own safety, yes, but in reality, okay. But then when it comes to men's behavior, oh, that's just boys being boys, you know. So he's even acknowledging it. Like any, no matter what, you could be a victim as a woman, and the responsibility still on you for being a victim. When a man does something, is that's just boys being boys. He's a man. You know how men are. Like there's just always a way to like excuse any problematic things they do and blame you for any problematic thing that happens to you, right? Like we heard the other day, we heard people blaming children, right? We want to blame underage girls for having sex with 40-year-old men. We nobody's acknowledging the men. We want to blame little girls, right? So we can see these toxic ideologies and how normal they are amongst men, right? Black men who say they don't benefit from the patriarchy, but they actually do.
People don't see it because patriarchy benefits men even when they don't ask for it. It trains women to normalize things that harm them. The word for this is gendered conditioning. When cultures teach us to perform our gender in a way that maintains the hierarchy. Men are taught dominance, women are taught endurance. That's not nature, that's training. But patriarchy doesn't just limit women, it emotionally starves men. It teaches men, don't cry, don't talk, don't depend, don't feel, don't ask for help, all these things. This is why so many men struggle with intimacy, communication, and vulnerability.
This is going to might go over some, how do I explain this? So what he just said, the patriarchy also damages men, right? Because it says don't cry, don't feel, don't ask for help. Now I'm going to translate to how that even hurts women, because you know what men will do? Some men, those kind of men who ain't about shit, don't have shit going on. They will target women who are doing better than them or who even have anything, and they will try to extract resources from her, use her for somewhere to stay, take advantage of her. This is a very weak male, right? But a lot of men do this because he's not performing well himself. So either he's too lazy or he's not qualified, whatever it is, to support his own life financially. So he will go to women and try to get it off the backs of a woman instead of working the way he should, right? But there's a reason he'll go to women. He still wants to look like a man in front of other men, right? So when he presents himself to the world, he wants to look like he has it all together. But really what he did was go be basically a predator to a weaker vessel that he can just like take from, so that he can still uphold this image in front of the other men as if he's something that he is not. But who is the one who actually is hurt in that scenario? The woman, right? And I think patriarchy is why people even feel okay with doing that to women, because we hear the conversations. Women are looked at like not a person. You're just something to do. You're just a body. Okay, you're just a sexual object. You're just like, we can hear it all the time. Just the way men talk about women in general is like women are not people. They're literally something you use for utility, and then you move around, you pass it around, you move around, you run around collecting them. But it's never like treating people like people.
The system gives men power, but strips them of emotional literacy. So remember, patriarchy isn't just a feeling, it's a system, it's a framework. And once you see the framework, You can't unsee the way it shapes relationships, workplaces, and culture.
Relationships, workplaces, and culture. What y'all think about that? Yes, HD Bowen says, hi, Tequila, Tequila. I never knew that you could dance like this. HD Bowen said, and there lies the problem. It emotionally starves men. That's why there are so many emotional, whiny bitches roaming around YouTube. Yes. Yeah, let me tell you. Okay, when it comes to the emotional whiny bitches on YouTube. So here's the thing: I had to realize the patriarchy did this to me. Okay, HC Bowen, look, I'm gonna say how Black women uphold the patriarchy, and I'm gonna talk about myself. I really am trying my best to deconstruct because currently I'm so deep into the patriarchy that I can't stand to hear a man complaining and crying and whining. Like that shit literally turns my stomach. I just see weakness. I hate it. And to be fair to your point, maybe okay, I'll say this. To be fair to the men who are like that, there is a reason, right? If people are crying out loud, there is something internally going on sometimes, right? Because some of these people really are performative. Some of them are. Some of them are performative. Some of them are manipulators, and some of them have learned, like I said, that weak male who has spent his life leeching off of women. If you notice, that's usually the same type of man who will cry and whine a lot. You know why? That's a learned behavior that he's been doing since he was a child. He was manipulating his mother doing that shit. Then he went into the world manipulating women. It's like, feel sorry for me, feel sorry for me, feel sorry for me, because naturally women are going to feel sorry for you. And some men have absolutely learned how to weaponize that shit. So because I know that as well, I don't have sympathy like that because I've seen it in real life, even in my family. I got a cousin who's like that. He in jail now, by the way, but that's another conversation. But I've seen it in my real life, like, and it's messed up because there are men who got problems and have a reason to cry and complain. But when you've literally seen men use that as a weapon because they will play on a woman's emotions because they don't want to just be upright, do the difficult thing they need to do for themselves and make an honest living and work hard like everybody else. They don't want to do that. So what they will do is have this overly expression of emotions. It's always a woe is me, something's wrong with me, help me. And the funny thing is those men always have a woman. There's always a woman willing to want to go be mommy to a grown ass man. And the funny thing about that man, he always resents her for it too. He always resents her for it. That's the funny thing. The weak man, he will seek out somebody to use. He will come use them, and then he will resent them for it. Because why? You saw him at his worst and his lowest, and now he's ashamed of himself. So he don't like that. He don't like that you seen him at that weekend state. Well, he knew enough to know during that weekend state, he was going to go prey on a woman and her emotions, right? So he's going to act like a big ass baby looking for a mommy. And then some woman going to come be a mommy. And then he's going to get his way. And he's been doing that his whole life since he was a little boy to his own mommy. So I understand what you're saying, HT Boy One, but some of them, I don't know if it's the patriarchy that got me my heart is a little hardened when it comes to crybaby ass men, but I cannot respect them. I don't know what it is. I can't do it. Maybe because I have 4 brothers. I have a father who's literally a Marine who literally fought in the Vietnam War. I don't know. I come from a different kind of men. So my daddy was never no crybaby. Like never. That my dad might have been more too on the emotionless side of the game, but like my brothers, yeah, I just don't recall none of them being cry. My little brother, when I was little, he used to get on my damn nerves. He used to fight him. But other than that, like, nah. I think maybe that's why. Maybe because I just had to grow up around a lot of boys. So maybe I am socialized in a way, but I do not respect complaining ass men, crying ass men, whining ass men, because I'm a woman and I've learned like sometimes it just is what it is. You have to do what you have to do. And as a woman, it's even harder for me. Like, and I'm not crying and complaining because I've mentally accepted that certain things I have to do, whether I want to do them or not. Crying about the shit all day is not changing nothing. So I guess maybe that's why I don't respect that shit at all. I cannot respect it. Oh my god. Hi, Fear No Mortals. Hey, Big Drawers. HT Bowman said exactly. There were no crybaby men in my family either. Because what's the point? What the hell? Like, people just did what they had to do. I'm not saying nobody ever had a complaint, but this redundant, you see how you was talking about the redundancy earlier, HT Bowman? This redundant, I'm honest to God, I never seen men like ruminate and dwell and complain about the same thing over and over and over and like that is a level of psychosis, I believe. That's not a healthy place mentally for anybody. That is literally called rumination. That's a problem. So to see them all like kind of keeping each other in this loop of complaining and crying, whining, complaining, and it really is unfortunate because life is moving forward and they're keeping each other in one place mentally, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, they're on like a hamster wheel, right? And time is going by and life is going by and they're stuck in one place and they're keeping each other in that place. Hi, Sherelle. But yeah, so I don't know. I do want to acknowledge that men have been stripped emotionally, but patriarchy has kept men from being able to express when they're hurt, when they're sad, when they're going through things. So I can understand the need for it, right? But do they understand? Like they want to defend the patriarchy so much, but the patriarchy is why you're like that. The patriarchy is what says you can't cry. Boys don't cry. We are all socialized under the patriarchy, including me. That's what I'm just saying. Like maybe my ideas come from the patriarchy as well, and religion, which I think also it goes hand in hand with the patriarchy, right? Because even in the Bible, is man, woman, and then child, and across most religious doctrines, the man is at the head, right? And I don't see many things, from what I understand about religious doctrines, where men are crying and shit. That's not really a thing for the most part. Yes, HT Baldwin, why don't you ever hit panels? I want you to come on my show so bad because you get it. He said that's why these mother effers are roaming around here with jealousy and resentment. They don't have the drive and tenacity that most black women have. This is coming from a man. Do you understand how much I appreciate that a man can see that in them? Because they will all protect each other. That's the patriarchy, right? The patriarchy protects men. So when men see other men doing problematic things, they have this like unspoken rule where they will just all get on cold and all start pretending they don't see it. Like they don't even have to say nothing to each other. They just get on cold and everybody plays dumb. Nobody sees it. But yeah, a lot of that attacking people, like when I talked about Jasmine Crockett, how she gets treated. Anytime you see any black woman, like a Meg Thee Stallion, it doesn't matter because Jasmine Crockett ain't no damn Meg Thee Stallion, right? Any opportunity there is to shit on a black woman from these men, they are going to take it. They're going to kick that door off the hinges. You hear me? But that is rooted in jealousy. A lot of these men are jealous of women. The funny thing is, they say that they're against feminism, but they are pro-feminism. They want to be equal to women. Think about that. They're actually the feminists. They want to be equal to women. They're competing with women. They're worshiping women. That's why most of the conversations are about women. Their entire existence is about women. Half of these men don't even have ideas until one of us start talking. They get their ideas from women, their motivation from women, inspiration from women, or they're jealous of a woman, or they want to sleep with a woman. Women, 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 women. A lot of them don't even have their own identity. And that's really the problem. They have no identity of their own. So they have to look to women for everything because they can't look within and they can't look at each other because 9 times out of 10, the other one they looking at ain't got no identity either. So because Black women have identity, originality, authenticity, and we are able to just be who we want to be, a lot of men are very jealous of us. Very jealous of us. In the same way that white women are. And this is the way. Even though white women are protected the most under the patriarchy when it comes to women, I guess, because they're not, they have the issues too, and they could be considered the beauty standard. I've had white women told me this personally. You know where the jealousy comes from? So all of the things, funny enough, that Black men will demonize us for, white women are jealous of. So they're more socialized to, like, go with the flow, be quiet, you be submissive, you cooperate, which those are not bad things. But the problem with that is even when there's things they shouldn't cooperate with, things that might be a problem, a lot of them don't feel the courage to even say anything about it. Or they don't feel the courage to go against the societal norm, right? So then you see the Black woman, she speaks her mind. She does not have that fear of not being accepted. We don't really live our lives that way. But the white woman does, right? It's extremely important for her to be accepted. So when they see you, you don't really care about that. You speak your mind. You're not worried about fitting into every single societal norm, right? You'll do crazy shit with your hair. You'll speak your mind. They're jealous of that. The same way with some of these Black men, because they don't get to just exist the way they would like to exist. They're jealous of the people who do. It's as simple as that. It really is. Yes, Anton, I said jealousy. Absolutely. White women are jealous of Black women the same way there are some Black women who are jealous of white women. Jealousy is not a race thing. It doesn't stop at one race. Yeah, so, and yes, Black men specifically have been proven this if you just look, Anton, if you're just being honest and you look at, I see a lot of the chats you're in, and I'm sure you be in way worse manosphere places I would never be. When you hear these men talking about these successful women and they're tearing them down from their head to their toe for no reason, unwarranted, right? Just finding any and everything wrong with them, finding any reason to disparage them, and they're always Black and they're always successful. And then the men who are speaking are never on their level, not financially, not socially, economically, not like, what do you think that is jealousy? Sorry. HC Bowman said they're competing with women. They have the nerve to be mad if they're not treated like women. Then they have even more to get mad if you call them a whiny bitch. Make this shit make sense. Right. Because if you want to compete with me, guess what I could do? I could cry. I have done it on here. I could cry on here. Nobody's going to care. Okay. You want to cry like me? You want to cry? You want to complain? You want to ask for protection from men? Like, if you think about the things they're doing, they absolutely want to be treated like women, right? Every conversation is, but when a woman does it, so they want to be treated like women. They want protection from other men. They want the attention you get from other men. I was talking earlier about anytime I would go on panels, it got to the point, it got so bad. That's why I don't go to a lot of panels, guys. Anytime, I don't know what it is, but it's something about me. I'm a very polarizing person, right? Some people like it, some people don't. Cool. But for whatever reason, a lot of content creators, I guess, see value in it, right? So sometimes when I come on people's shows, they will ask me to come up if they see me in their chat, or they might prioritize me in a conversation because I'm not too many places too much. And you will just see the men get jealous of that. They even get jealous of digital attention on a panel. And that's when you see them cutting in, they're throwing insults, they're just saying shit that don't make sense. Because what they're really doing, it's like a kid who wants attention. That's what it starts to become, like a child doing anything for attention. So yeah, they are very jealous of women, and they think that tearing women down, trying to assassinate our character, lying on us, spreading rumors about us, that's not going to get you any closer to your identity as a man. It's not. It really is not. You are not what I am, and I am not what you are. You are not Jasmine Crockett. You ain't gonna never be Jasmine Crockett, and you sitting around tearing her down does what does that do for you? Or tearing down Ciara or Michelle Obama, or just like the patriarchy really does have me super biased, because a man that's jealous of a woman is pathetic as hell to me. And I know that's kind of a sexist thing to say, but the patriarchy did it to me. I'm sorry. I because of what I believe in, right? I subscribe to the Bible. It says men, women, and children. So if this is true, why would the superior one be jealous of the inferior one? Why would the superior one be competing with the inferior one? That shit is pathetic as I don't understand it. AC Bull once said, because like me, you say what you need to say, when the F and who the F you need to say unapologetically. You know the crazy thing, I'm sad to admit this. I don't even say half of the stuff I want to say. I'm be honest with you. Because I'm trying to get better. Shout out to the Bible study in Discord. Firebrand said they fundamentally think black women are inferior to them and are wholly invested in bringing us down. Yeah, it's complicated. It's like the men, right? That's why I equate white women to some of these black men. Because look, those same black men will say you're inferior to them, but what are they doing? Invested in bringing you down. Why are you trying to bring down the one who's inferior to you? So do you really believe I'm inferior, or are you just saying it? I don't know. Something ain't making no sense. The actions, because I don't look like, think about this. Children are inferior to me. Therefore, I don't give them any thought. I don't think about bringing them down. There's no need. They're down. I'm up. So when people want to bring you down, think about where they see you. They don't really see you as inferior, do they? I'm just saying.
She's right.
And it's problematic that other men don't. HC Wilma said, I'm trying to be nicer in my older age. Listen, my birthday is Wednesday, HC Boy 1. Okay. We trying to be a better. You know what it is? I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Okay. Y'all ready? You know, in my real life, men fuck with me. Okay. That's what I'm going to tell y'all. Men really fuck with me. So it has been brought to my attention that some of the things I say on the internet can be offensive to people I care about in real life. Okay. So yeah, I'm in a difficult place right now because my opinions on men that are very strong on the internet are making men that I actually care about in my real life, feel a certain way. And I don't like that. And I don't know how to get them to understand that I'm talking about a certain group of people and I'm reacting to like what I see in real time, right? That's why I'll show you clips or I'll tell you who I'm so like, or culture, ideology. Like it's not every black man, obviously. But even though I say that, it's still very difficult to get men in my real life to not be offended by my words. So I'm in a tough situation right now. Okay, I'm gonna just say that. Because I'm not trying to hurt men that I really care about in my real life. But I'm also not trying to pretend like I don't see what I see and know what I know, understand what I understand. So it is a very compromising position to be in. Okay. Z Chicago say you're a Taurus too. I'm absolutely a Taurus. Yes. Damn. Freezy said a lot of men don't see women as inferior, they see women as the enemy. You know what's crazy? I've heard Angry Man say that. I think I heard Anton. I might be, I don't know. I can't 1000% say Anton. Maybe, maybe not. But I think I've heard Angry Man say that. I've heard a lot of big voice content creators say that black women are the enemy. And that right there is a term Marcus White taught me. I think it's called stochastic terrorism. Is that the word? That right there is really terrorism, right? Because when you position any group of people as an enemy to any other group of people, you are putting those people in danger in real life, right? If you're a person like Angry Man who's damn near at a million subs or whatever, I don't know how many, or like Anton, and you speak that way, that literally is stochastic terrorism. Let me read y'all that definition again. Stochastic terrorism is the use of mass communication to incite random, ideologically motivated violent acts that are statistically probable but individually unpredictable. It involves the demonization of a target group by an influential figure, right? So Tommy Sotomayor, Angry Man, Anton Daniels, Myron from Fresh and Fit, Saint and Sinner, right? Once it gets to this, it involves the demonization of a target group by an influential figure, leading an unknown actor to act on that rhetoric without explicit instructions. Targeted rhetoric. Influential individuals use media to demonize, dehumanize, and desensitize the public toward a specific group or person. So when there are shows for years and years and years about black women are horrible mothers, black women are horrible people, black women are the most sexually irresponsible, black women have herpes the most, black women have the most STDs. Just think about everything I'm saying to you guys, right? Black women, black women, black women, black women, and then insert bad for years by black men. That is literally the definition of stochastic terrorism, right? They literally use the media to demonize, dehumanize, and desensitize the public toward a specific group or person. So when they call us the enemy, what are they? What do you call people who do that to their own people? What do you call that? The 4Ds model. Researchers describe the process involving demonization, dehumanization, desensitization, and denial if violence occurs, right? That's why when you try to link some of these femicides to the manosphere, what do? Deny. Well, we don't know. I don't know. No, 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 no. They're literally, and this is where I think Sherelle came up with this when she was saying, is the manosphere and MAGA the same? Yes, right. These are tactics out of the white supremacy playbook. Okay, these are tactics out of Hitler's, right? Like literally white supremacists to the extreme. That is the model that he follows. Those 4Ds. And then black men are doing that to black women, and black women are still sitting around wanting to be up their ass, supporting them, sending their money, wanting to be their friends, wanting to fuck these niggas. These niggas would not put you out if you were on fire. Okay. Clue Studio, but who was injured from those guys' rhetoric? I don't know. A quick Google search will tell you that. Why don't you go look up femicides that have been linked to the manosphere? You go read something. Go find something out. But this is my issue with y'all. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'll be quick to argue. Don't know nothing. Wait, what's this? It says the patriarchy was created by men for other men to submit. Okay, so she has a different opinion. She says the patriarchy was created by men for other men to submit. And then somebody says men submit to each other because they need structure. Look at modern offices or military. There must be one at the top and all the others beneath to submit to him. Let's see.
The patriarchy was created because men needed other men to submit. You see, historically, men are more competitive with one another. They're more status driven, more likely to fight over power, land, resources, and who's going to be in charge. And when that competition goes unchecked, societies can fall apart. So the patriarchy created order, rank, and rules in order to control male behavior. Kings, armies, bosses, chain of commands, men submitting to men. That part is important because men are submitting constantly to their boss, to their commander, their pastor, their coach. So submission in and of itself is not the issue that women have. The issue is forced submission based on gender alone. That's so silly. Men think that because they have to submit to each other, that women have to submit to them. And that's just not how women work. Because in matriarchal societies, power tends to be organized relationally, not through domination. Yes, there are still rules. There's still leadership, but submission is chosen, not enforced. You submit to your boss because you choose the job, because consent matters. But patriarchy flipped that for women. It told women that they could not choose. And when women say, we don't want to submit, that's not natural for us. Men think that we're saying, no, men have to submit to us. And that's not what we're saying. That's men assuming that women think the way they do through power struggles and competition. And most women are trying to win or dominate. We prefer to collaborate. I bring my strengths, you bring yours, we protect each other, we build together. But the patriarchy trained men to see relationships as hierarchies. So when a woman says, I won't submit, the man hears it as a threat to his position. But it's not a threat. It's an invitation to stop competing with us and to start cooperating with us. Because women don't want power over men. We want partnership. And those are very different words. Because people who insist on power and control over other people are only doing it because they're insecure and they can't inspire people to follow them. They must force them. She's right. The patriarchy was created because men needed other men to submit.
Whoa, that was deep. Okay. That was very deep. So remember, I'm always telling y'all that all men know how to do is project. I'm gonna say 90% of them. There's a good 10% of them who don't. The other 90% of men, they only know projection. And everybody here could understand what I'm talking about. If you're ever talking to a man about anything that he has not personally seen or he has not personally experienced, in his little mind, in his little world, nothing else exists. He's running around projecting his experience on everyone else. Like he thinks that way his life is lived and the way he thinks and the way he views things, he really thinks everybody else operates the exact same way. Case in point, if you tell a man, you know, I have been single for a while, and they go, so have you been having sex? And you go, no, I really have been not having sex. I haven't been doing anything. And then they go, yeah, right. Or if you tell them, oh no, I haven't had sex in such and such time. Yeah, right. You lying. You know why you're lying? Because in his mind, right, projection, he can't imagine just not having sex ever for any amount of time. So you have to be lying in order for it to make sense in his mind, because he can only see the world through his lens. Almost with anything, you can make it about sex. You can make it about if you ever like left somebody or you stop dealing with a man and you're just like, I'm not doing anything, I'm by myself. Other men will say, oh, nobody would leave nobody just to be by themselves. She gotta be messing with another man. She gotta be doing this. She gotta be, because he's talking about what he would be doing. He does not understand. Women are not men. I don't operate the way you do, but they, no matter what you say, will try to force their reality onto you, because a lot of them, again, lack empathy. They don't have the ability to see things from step out of their own selves, their own selfishness, their own view, and even try to see things from any other perspective. And that's why it's so difficult to communicate with a lot of them. Right, HC Bullwin. I don't want to talk about that person, but you dead ass right. So this is why what she was just saying makes so much sense. I just wanted to I just wanted to kind of give some context to why I understand what she's saying when she said, when we say we don't want to submit, they don't understand that that doesn't mean I want to dominate you. That's not what that means. Somebody saying they don't want to submit does not mean that they want to dominate you. Okay, like she said, I want to be in partnership with you. I want to be equal to you. But they don't, again, because they project. All they know is dominate or submit. They don't know anything else. So they think when you say you don't want to submit, what they hear is you want to dominate me, and I'm not about to let you dominate me. Meanwhile, you were never asking to dominate anybody. But again, this inability to see the world any other way outside of their own limited little tiny minuscule dumbass scope is the problem. Let's play it again.
Submit. You see, historically, men are more competitive with one another. They're more status driven, more likely to fight over power, land, resources, and who's going to be in charge. And when that competition goes unchecked, societies can fall apart. So the patriarchy created order, rank, and rules in order to control male behavior. Kings, armies, bosses, chain of commands, men submitting to men. And that part is important because men are submitting constantly to their boss, to their commander, their pastor, their coach. So submission in and of itself is not the issue.
Damn. The patriarchy really was created for men to submit to other men. That's deep.
That women have. The issue is forced submission based on gender alone. That's so silly. Men think that because they have to submit to each other, that women have to submit to them.
Is it true? Men think because they have to submit to each other, therefore you have to submit to me, woman, because I am above you. And if I gotta submit to these niggas, you gonna definitely submit to me. Okay? And we know this is true. Because they damn near say that on panels. Like, what? If I gotta be outside and I'm fighting with the world. Like, they feel like you're the weaker being, so you need to just naturally submit because I gotta go outside and submit. Damn. Could you at least submit when I come home? Even though I don't do shit but pay the light bill in here and I'm broke and I got a bum ass part-time job. I don't really do nothing but submit. Even though you work 40, 50 hours a week and you take care of the kid, you do a lot of the domestic labor. I don't do shit but go to work and scratch my balls. Submit to me because I deserve it.
And that's just not how women work. Because in matriarchal societies, power tends to be organized relationally, not through domination. Yes, there are still rules, there's still leadership, but submission is chosen, not enforced. You submit to your boss because you choose the job, because consent matters. But patriarchy flipped that.
That part. You guys ever hear that dumbass argument when they go, oh, when she go to her job, she don't give the boss nothing. First of all, I'm so tired of y'all with these talking points need to go in the trash. Basura, okay? They're tired, they're ran through, they're worn out. Just like some of y'all be claiming the vaginas y'all like to dwell in are, okay? They're worn out, they're done, they're over with. Let them go. Because what she just said was an excellent point. I had to consent to this job. Nobody forced me to be there. They told me what the scope was. I looked it over. I said, Venus, do you feel like this is something you were willing to tolerate for this amount of money? And then the other Venus said, yeah, girl, we could do it. And so we went, me and all the people in my head, okay? But we consented to the job. There is no force submission. When I consented, I chose to submit. I saw the rules. I saw the obligations. I said, okay, I'm going to sign the contract. I'm going to do it. That was a decision, though. Why do y'all always skip the part where it was a decision? Nobody forces anyone to submit at work. People quit jobs every day. People get fired from jobs every day. There is no force, especially with a person like me. An entrepreneur is the worst kind of employee you could ever have because we're going to do what we want to do. We don't care. But yeah.
That for women, it told women that they could not choose. And when women say, we don't want to submit, that's not natural for us. Men think that we're saying, no, men have to submit to us. And that's not what we're saying. That's men assuming that women think the way they do through power struggles and competition.
Projection. Men think through power struggle and through competition. Therefore, when they're talking to a woman, they think you are thinking that way too. Oh my goodness, sidebar. Because we're talking about all the ways the patriarchy is problematic. So here's my theory. The reason men project on women so much and do not understand women is because of patriarchy. Historically, the woman's voice was not important. The woman's opinion was not important. So I don't think men got to know women for real, or never really took the time to understand women for real. I think men have like some version of an idea of what they think a woman is and then what they think a woman is supposed to be. But I don't think most men ever took the time to understand a woman, how she operates, how she thinks, the way her brain processes information, how her emotions play a part on her decisions and the way she views things. Because if they did, then you wouldn't be projecting you onto me, because you would know I am not you, right? So I can tell when you see the heavy projections on women that make no sense. This is a man who does not understand women at all. He's viewing you the way he views men. And that's where we're disconnecting. Just like when the men are calling their girlfriend bro, bro, bro. That is a whole woman. Why are you calling her bro? What the fuck? Or bro, son, any of that. That's not a bro. That's not a boy. But they see everybody as a boy. They don't. This is what I mean by understanding women, because understanding women is also understanding like the way you communicate with a woman, especially a woman you claim to care about or have a love interest in, should not be the exact same way you communicate with a boy or a homeboy or like that. They're not the same at all. And the fact that men don't know this lets you know they're looking at women as if they're boys. Perfect example. I was on when I was on Izzy's show the other day, somebody in his chat was like, "Oh, he's talking to Venus like she's a baby." No, he just understands that I'm not one of you niggas. He just understands that. That's all. It wasn't no deeper than that. He just understands he's not talking to one of y'all. But y'all don't understand that. And that's why I don't get along with most of y'all. Firebrand says, of course they haven't. That would be an acknowledgement of women as human. Yeah, pretty much. And I see that a lot actually when the men are halfway polite to women, speak, a little softer, a little calmer, a little slower, a little nicer to women. Other men, those jealous men, those insecure men, they will attack him. He's being a simp. He's being a simp. No, he's a mature man and he knows how to communicate with women. He's actually the smart one, because he could be the biggest piece of shit in the world. But the fact is, he understands who he's talking to and he knows how to talk to them in a way that they're going to listen to him. He's actually the smart one. He's not the simp. That's the thing y'all don't understand. Just because somebody's being pleasant doesn't mean that women get to walk all over them. Those are actually the more evolved men who have learned how to communicate with women. Y'all could probably learn something from them. Why is the chat not moving? Are y'all not saying nothing, or is my thing frozen? Somebody let me know if y'all can hear me.
And most women aren't trying to win or dominate. We prefer to collaborate. I bring my strengths, you bring yours, we protect each other, we build together. But the patriarchy trained men to see relationships as hierarchies.
Oh, I seen something earlier. Red Pill Crip. Are you still here? Because if you are, I want to talk to you. If you don't mind coming up. Because when I played this earlier, I think it was you that said women don't bring any strengths. They don't have any strengths to bring, or something like that, you said. Somebody write something in the chat, or I'm gonna think the thing is frozen. Why is it not moving?
So when a woman says, I won't submit, the man hears it as a threat to his position. But it's not a threat. It's an invitation to stop competing with us and to start cooperating with us. Because women don't want power over men. We want partnership. And those are very different words. Because people who insist on power and control over other people are only doing it because they're insecure. And they can't inspire people to follow them. They must force them.
Oh, they can't inspire people to. Thank you, Kim. I'm like, what? I've never seen a chat that's. Let's see what else I got. I've seen a lot of interesting things about deconstructing patriarchy, right? But yeah, I want to move on to a second part before I go, which I might need to do a whole show about the second part, because there's this trend that's been going around for a while. It's not new, like at least a year or so, which was decentering men, right? This idea that women needed to decenter men. I actually think I should do a separate show about that. So I'm gonna just like close out on this topic. Sorry, 1 second, y'all. On Freezy, my brother sent me a super chat. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you, Freezy. He says, the Bible says men that treat their wives that way, their prayers will not be heard. 1 Peter 3:7. Damn, that was a while ago. What way, Freezy? Inspiring people to follow them is deep. What you mean? I'm gonna drop my link real quick. I think I don't have maybe 30 minutes more to be here if anybody wants to come challenge me. I wish I was supposed to come earlier because I have a lot more to say about this. But to wrap it up, I just want to say black men absolutely benefit from, and so black men benefit from the patriarchy. They participate in the patriarchy, and they are harmed by the patriarchy all at the same time. That's the funny thing. Hi, Tequila. Okay, she said she in the clouds. F&M. So, while generally benefiting from the patriarchy privilege, the system also harms black men. The number one, the emotional restriction, right? Labeling them as unmanly. If they're too vulnerable, right? Which, like I said, I've been indoctrinated under the patriarchy, so don't blame me. But in all seriousness, this can lead to mental health crisis where black men feel they have no safe outlet for their emotions. So I want to talk about this because I don't know if y'all are seeing this. I don't know what cities you guys are in, but I'm in a big city, right? A big city. New York City, right? Honestly, I see a lot of homeless black men, a lot of them. Like if you travel around certain areas, especially when you go to the city, like when you go to Manhattan, homeless people like to be in the city because I'm sure they get more money, like from everybody on the trains and stuff. I see a lot of black men who are homeless. I mean, I don't ever remember it being as bad. I'm honest to God, I don't. Like I see them a lot, and you can tell some of them are on drugs or, just either they're playing crazy or, but like it is concerning. It is very concerning. And then even some of the behavior of the men online, like all the crying and shit, some of them really, something is wrong. That might be a result of emotional restriction, right? Because they said that we never had a voice, but now it's like going from one extreme to the next, right? When you do get a healthy outlet and you do get a chance to express your voice, you're not meant to get stuck in it and ruminate for years. That's not healthy either, right? So it's going from one extreme to the other. And now you're in a state of like being a victim. And just as a man, why would you want to be crying and complaining all day? I don't get it. But yes, the patriarchy might be the reason for that, because they have not had an opportunity to address their feelings in a healthy way. But I'm gonna say this. Yeah, it's just gonna sound bad. It's just very hard for me to have sympathy for these people. I'm sorry, because I've seen even in real life where people were told, "Hey, you need some help. Hey, you probably should get into some therapy." And they absolutely refused to go and get the help they needed. Refused to do it because therapy is for weak people or whatever the excuse was. So it'd be like, on the one hand, I want to feel bad, but it's like, if y'all got the time and the energy to research meaningless statistics and research bullshit things to argue about on the internet, you don't have the means to go and find a mental health specialist who can actually help you. So that's where my sympathy kind of runs out. I'm sorry. I just, priorities be seeming messed up. If you got time for that, you can acknowledge that you've never had a voice. You can acknowledge that you need to, let some things out in a healthy way. But then when people point you to the direction of mental health professionals, right? These are professionals. You don't go, because that's where start losing sympathy, because it's like, you seem to just want to complain. That's what you seem to. You want to vent. You don't want to get better. You don't want help. You want to vent. You want to complain. You don't want to actually repair anything. And I think there is a difference, right? The other way that the patriarchy harms Black men: hypermasculinity and violence. The pressure to be dominant and aggressive can lead to character assassination and dangerous stereotypes. The pressure to be dominant and aggressive. I really don't like that because, well, it's like twofold. I like. What are you talking about? I like, damn it, Big Rush, you made me laugh. What happened to my red pill grifting? You told me that last week. What were you? I don't understand why you're saying that. How was I red pill grifting? What did I do? Tequila said, right, they have plenty. They have Firebrand said they have plenty of opportunities. Guys, like the video for me. Hi, Alicia L. First time here. Thank you for coming. Alicia, were you in Freezy's Bible study today? Is that you? Sorry, y'all. 1 second. How am I red pill grifting? Oh, I said I was gonna go that way. I do need to go to the red pill. They're violent because how they were raised. I can't stand when we completely ignore how horrific a lot of Black people grew up. That matters. Yeah, so I don't know how much you heard in Chicago, but I'm talking about the patriarchy and how it's harmful to Black men, right? So if I'm the patriarchy, I am considering how they grew up. We were all indoctrinated under the system of patriarchy, right? Because to be fair, I've heard white men even say this. It's not even just Black men. I've heard white men literally make this argument about the emotional restriction and how a man is supposed to suppress his emotions and just do. This is the patriarchy is the reason men have such high self-deleting rates, right? Because think about it. Why do men delete themselves more? This is a theory. I gotta look this up, so I don't want to say it like that. But I think it's because they just implode because they just can't. They don't get to like emotionally. I think most men don't even know how to identify all of their own emotions, let alone express them, let alone deal with them. They just don't have any idea how to do that. So, for some men, If they don't have a healthy outlet, it just becomes overwhelming, and they just want to end it. You know, just saying. Brother Freezy, you going live tonight?
Nah.
You over it?
Yeah, I'm gonna just chill out tonight.
Okay. How you doing? I'm happy you came. Oh, Alicia came from your Bible study. Thank you for coming, Alicia.
Yeah, it's a good show, sis, and I'm feeling a lot of things you're saying. What I was saying in the chat as far as 1 Peter 3:7, you were saying something earlier about how it's a problem where a lot of men treat women like objects, right? You were saying something like that, like, and I was just putting in the chat that even God shuns that, where men that dwell with their wives. First Peter 3:7 says, husbands that dwell with their wives should dwell with their wives according to knowledge, meaning men should get to know their wives, their interests. They should get to understand their wives and their emotions and how they feel, and make a connection, a true connection with their wife, and not just like, you know, transactional or just sex or, you know, like an object. No. And it's, the Bible is saying men that do not dwell with their wives in that manner, their prayers, it will be hard for their prayers to be answered. So the reason why that's a very important verse is because it shows men how important women are in their lives and how we should dwell with one another, right? So much so to where if we don't do it properly, men's prayers won't get answered. And also that last chat that I wrote where it said inspiring people to lead or inspire people to follow you. What she said? Inspire.
She said instead of forcing people to follow you, she said they want to, like, instead of inspiring people enough to want to follow, they want to force something like that. She said.
Yeah, that was deep. The reason why I said that was deep is because a lot of people don't have that skill. They don't have it. Like, that is a special gift or skill to have, to inspire someone to follow you, right? Mm-hmm. Because that type of leadership, it's inspiring and it's motivating, right? Forcing someone to follow you or arguing with someone so much to where you try to force them to follow you, or insulting someone, or verbal abuse, physical abuse, right? That's nothing but toxicity and destruction. But when you inspire someone to follow you, they're following you willingly and gladly because they believe in you. Basically, when that woman said inspiring someone to follow you, that means you're getting someone to actually to believe in your leadership. And I think what she was saying is a lot of men don't ascertain that ability to get women to believe in their leadership, right? That's the part that a lot of us are missing. As men, we should get people to believe in our leadership. If we don't believe in your leadership, we're not going to effectively even follow you. And if we do even act like we're following you, it's fake. They're probably with you just because of some perks or, money, some type of money transaction or whatever, right? It's not because they're inspired or they believe in you. It's because you probably providing something that they want or need or something. So they're just going along with the program for the meantime, but that's not true. That's not, what is it called? Genuine. It's not sincere. So I think a lot of men are missing that too, that ability and that gift what that woman said. That's why I said that was deep, because I never heard it put that way, but that was deep though.
You want me to play
That's what I wanted to come up and clear up. Yeah.
You want me to play it again? Because now I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember
play it again. That shit was deep.
what she said. Okay. She said a lot, but so you don't lose.
I got this.
Don't lose focus, guys, because sometimes my brain kind of goes in and out when people talk for a long time. But she's gonna say it toward the end, okay?
Comment from a dating coach that says that I think patriarchy is better for society than feminism. What's your take? Well, as a Black man, that's like saying that white supremacy is better for society than racial equality.
She don't know some of these Black men. They absolutely will say that. That's how indoctrinated they are.
That's a fact.
Patriarchy means that it's a system.
Am I lying?
Nah, I'm telling you, I done heard these guys say that shit before.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, like when I was arguing, I think Wall Street Willie one time, and I was like, "What do you think make America great again means? What time frame do you think they're referring to?" He had a whole debate with me while he was like arguing on their side, like it was a good thing when Black people were like more subjugated and shit. Like these men really are out of their minds. Like the reprobate mind, the coonism, the self-hatred. Like I think the devil is in charge of the internet. Okay, I'm not even gonna go too far, but let me play this.
Men hold more power than women, politically, economically, religiously, and in the family. Feminism, however, is the belief that women are fully human and deserve equal rights, safety, dignity, and agency, like every human deserves. Patriarchy says that hierarchy is good, and feminism says that equality is a non-negotiable. Now, of course, patriarchy feels better to men who benefit from it. Patriarchy is a religious framework. You have male God language, male authority, male leadership, and women positioned as submissive and property. Now, if you're a man looking for leadership and an ego boost with certainty and divine endorsement of your authority, that system works very well for you. Because y'all are insecure, you want to enforce women to obey, not inspire them. Patriarchy says that.
You heard it?
Yeah, that was, man, I like that.
You want to enforce? He said you want to enforce women to obey instead of inspiring them to obey.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that, man. That was really good.
I'm wondering if that's because that's what most of us know because of the patriarchy. Like, think about it. The kids, right? What fear is the ruling thing a lot of times that people use in kingdoms, in just government. Like, fear is inspiration. Yeah, but I think only like highly evolved, like super intelligent men understand that. And I mean that on a grand scale, right? Like people like a Martin Luther King, right? Or Malcolm, or a Barack Obama, or even like a Donald Trump, right? As much as I don't like it, he has a power where he can inspire people that follow him. You see, they're like a cult about this man, right? But he has that kind of power. I'm just wondering if the reason most men go with the fear and force is because that is maybe a gift that every man does not have.
Well, even with Donald Trump does a lot of inspiring. You know, the way he talks and the way he speaks to his what is it called? The way he speaks to his base.
Yes.
He actually does a lot of inspiring. This is why those people actually stormed the Capitol. You know, because they was inspired by Donald Trump. Hey, you got black men inspired by Donald Trump wearing MAGA hats and you know, so even Donald Trump has the ability to do things that a lot of other men don't, right? That's what makes him exceptional as far as like when it comes to men. Even though I don't think of him as a good man, like the skill that he has is exceptional. And I want to say this: when you inspire someone, to follow you, they don't want to lose that leadership, right? They don't want to. You damn near got to pry them away and say, "Hey, it's time for you to go off on your own. Like I can't, lead you forever. Like it's time for you to take control and take the steering wheel in some aspects of your life." But even when you do that, they don't want to let go because you're so inspirational. Inspirational people are valuable to people. Like, so that's what's so powerful about inspiring people, right? But when you force someone, when you put somebody in like almost like a controlled environment, like people can't wait to get out of prison. People can't wait for their release date. You know what I'm saying? When they call your name, you be like, man, I'm getting the hell up out of here. And not only that, when you use a forceful hand, usually rebellion comes after. Like even with teenagers, that's why a lot of teenagers like sneak out of the window at night, because when you try to and I'm not saying like in some incidences force isn't needed. I'm just saying the best route to take when it comes to leadership is inspiration. And
but I'm saying, do you think that most people choose the enforcing because they know that? So the thing with inspiration, it takes a level of intelligence, and I'm not saying you got to be like super scholar, because even like just if you understand, shoot, babies know how to manipulate, right? But I'm saying like it takes a certain level of like mental work, is what I want to say, to be able to intentionally inspire people, because you can inspire people without even talking. Like I've had people tell me that in my real life, like just even with the whole entrepreneurship thing, people who want to do it just because they've seen me do it, right? And I didn't say nothing to them. So you can inspire people just by them watching you. But I'm saying if you want to intentionally inspire, you have to think about that. That's like you gotta be careful with your words and your actions. You're being mindful of how people are looking at you, and that takes a lot of work mentally, I think. And I just don't know if most men want to do that mental work when it's easier to just do what I say, or I'm gonna give you a consequence kind of thing.
Right. Well, here's the thing though, right? True inspiration really doesn't come from what people say. And some people are good orators, right? They can talk, but true inspiration really comes from what we see people do. Like you mentioned Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King wouldn't be as remembered as he is and an inspiration as he is if he wasn't actually seen in those marches. I don't know if he had advisors or whatnot, but somebody told him, hey, it's not just good enough for you to say these good old speeches. They got to see you in these restaurants, man. They got to see you being threatened to be arrested. They got to see you actually, in the trenches with the people. They got to see this, Martin. And guess what? That's what Martin did. Martin got out there and marched too. He went into them boycotts and he went into the restaurants, and Martin Luther King got arrested. Some people say it was even staged. I don't know, but guess what? They understood the importance of actually seeing these things being actualized by a man. So in my opinion, I think true inspiration, it doesn't come from a lot of talking. It comes from actually seeing the example in men. And I think women respect that. I think women respect when they observe a man that doesn't do a lot of talking, but he's an actual doer. He's a doer and he's putting.
Oh my God. Women love. Well, I'm gonna speak for me. That's my favorite type of man. Oh my God. Women love that kind of man. Like just do. Like not like he doesn't talk at all, but I mean like a man who's about action is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like people who want to promise you to death. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I was about. Freezy, I hate it. I was about to do that ass nigga. I hate them. Hate them. Don't tell me what you was about to do. I don't care. Did you do it or you didn't? That was, I was. You ever met people who do that to you? Oh, I was gonna do this. Oh, I was gonna do that. I was gonna. But then when you look at the actual result, they never actually do anything. They just always tell you what they was gonna. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's social media. That's YouTube. That's man. That's dudes in real. Well, I know dudes like that in real life. You know, it was always about to, and you know, usually a lot of those, usually those men are full of excuses on why they didn't, and you know, they always blaming somebody else. A lot of times it's a woman. You know why they was about to do something for their kids, but they didn't because of this. Well, I don't know, but yeah. But the real men, they really don't have a lot of excuses. They don't really go to a lot of excuses. They just make it happen, you know? And if they fail, they'll try again. They'll try again another way or something. That's a real man, you know? And not only is that a real man, that's a real woman too. You know what I'm saying? But when we talking about men expecting women to respect them and follow them, especially in their own household, it's not going to happen if you're not actually leading by example. You know, it's just going to have a hard time just trying to get people to follow you. Even your kids, let's take it off of women. Kids, you're going to have a hard time, you know, with your kids actually believing in you if you're just a poor example of a leader in your house. You know, my dad, he was the type of dude, he talked all the time. He had a lot to say. He had all of these profound things to say and philosophies, but he was lazy. He didn't like to work. And the breadwinner in our household usually was my mom. So as kids, it worked for a little bit, you know, but as we got older, we seen that, you know, he was full of it. You know what I'm saying? And talking only lasts for a short amount of time. It's only temporary. Just talking, it's very temporary, man.
It's true. After a while, people start to, like you said, the better you're at it, the longer it might last. But eventually, like I said, I was gonna ask person, right? I don't like those kind of men. Because it's like they want credit for work they didn't do. Does that make sense? Like, I've seen that a lot of times. Like, they think if you need help with something and they say, yeah, I was going to do this, but this happened. I was going to do that, but that. They're trying to get credit for something they never did. Because, like, telling me what you was going to do about something that already happened is actually not saying anything. But if they can keep putting the words, right? They keep putting it in your ear and in your head that I was gonna do something for you, they seem to be of more value than they actually are.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the people, one thing I learned with men is like there's certain type of men who if you have a problem, he's gonna solve your problem. He don't want to talk about your problem. like the I was gonna. There's the man who want to talk about your problem all day. Then there's the man who just wants to solve your problem, and he don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it. I mean, things he like something he could solve. Not saying things you need to talk about, cool, but I'm saying like if you need an action to be taken, he's just gonna take it.
Yeah.
What
does that cause? What is how does that affect women? It affects women in a way where women feel safer. They feel more secure. They feel like they can trust this man more because he's actually showing that he's going to figure it out, right? And he wants the woman to worry as less as possible, right? Because he wants her to understand, hey, I am the head, you know, by what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want my wife to know I am the head, not by what I say, but from what I exemplify and what I show. She feels comfortable. She's in a situation. I mean, she's in a position with me But she believes me because of what I do, what I show, not by how much I talk. You know what I'm saying? Like she believes me by what I've done actually, several times in the past and throughout our history. So she believes me,
No, that's true. That's where the confidence come from because and I don't want anybody in the chat to misunderstand me. I'm not saying men don't talk about your problems. I'm saying there are certain times where you just need something done or you need something fixed or you need to be picked up or you need something you need something done. I'm saying in those situations, they'll just do them. Like it's not gonna be much to talk about, and you won't have to ask. If you tell them they have a problem, at least I've experienced this. If they can't take care of it, they just do. They don't wait for you to ask them. Like, oh, okay, well, my tire broke. Okay, well, how much is your tire? That's how it be. Like, they're gonna sit there like, well, I don't know. Either they're gonna help you or they can't, but it really don't be a bunch of talking about it. So the men who want to talk about it all day, he not planning to do anything for you, is what I'm saying. Just my experience, my bad. But I've just seen both sides of that. Like depending on the type of man you're dealing with.
Well, no, that's a fact. And also there's a lot of harm that can come with always but trying to believe somebody that talks all the time. You got to be aware of people that talk all the time because that's where the grifting comes into place, right? That's where the con artistry comes into place, right? That's where the deception comes in. A lot of deception doesn't come from what you see people doing. A lot of deception comes from, people talking. When they talk a lot, that's a red flag. I always felt like that when people talk too much, they do more talking than they do doing. That is a red flag to me. And I would suggest that to be a red flag to women, more importantly, because like I just never really seen a lot of good come from somebody that talk more than what they do,
I think man or woman, like anybody who, like you said, because some women are full of it too, and they will talk a lot. Sometimes just to like distract you or throw you off in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Like so you don't really realize like, oh, she didn't do what she said she was gonna do. She just try to like chat you up and take the conversation all over the place and kind of take your attention away from like, yeah, but you didn't do the thing we asked you to do though. Like women do that too. Like, hey, weren't you supposed to be the one to, I don't know, clean the kitchen today? They'll start talking to me about the trees, the grass, the birds. Like they'll do the same thing sometimes. So yeah, that is some like trickery stuff.
Yeah, I just don't like, for one, I do believe that words can cast spells, right? I believe, just words in general, you have to spell them out. And they do. I believe that the way people cast spells is through words. So it's just not good to be hearing people talk all the time any damn way.
Oh, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because you live stream way more than me, but I wonder if this happens to you. Do you talk less in real life now since you became a content creator?
Yeah. Yeah. In real life, I don't really talk that much.
In real life,
only time I really talk in real life now is if somebody asks me something or spark a conversation or something, but that's about it. If I'm answering a question and that kind of leads into a short conversation. But yeah.
I've been noticing this in real life. I don't be on the phone like that. I don't.
Me neither.
It's like you talking on here so much, it is low key draining. I didn't realize that. But then in real life, I talk way less now. Like I don't really, and it's not on purpose. I just noticed it like this week. Like I just don't want to talk no more because I didn't talk so much. Like I just talked for the last 2 hours. I don't want to talk anymore. Like once I get off of here, I'm not gonna want to. Yeah.
Not only that, we can condition ourselves to get used to a certain type of conversation online, and if they're not talking about the same things in real life, we don't engage. Like we can be so involved in certain type of conversations online, and we can get used to that because it could become like a source for our dopamine and stimuli, even if it's negative, right? Mm-hmm. So when we're not getting it in real life, it doesn't trigger us because we've made ourselves used to certain type of conversations online. I think that kind of might be a part of it too.
You might, damn, I gotta think about that. You might be right.
Yeah.
But it's
because conversations really are, they're stimulating, right? We tend to talk a lot when we're stimulated or triggered. One of the two, either stimulated or triggered, right? And so when we engulf ourselves in conversations per usual, and we don't get that in real life, our dopamine isn't triggered as much because we've trained ourselves to be stimulated or triggered by certain type of conversations or topics or whatnot. So, and a lot of people in real life don't care about a lot of shit that we be talking about online too. I realize that too. So, yeah, they ain't trying to talk about that shit.
No, they don't care. Or you'll be surprised. Some of them have very ignorant. Some people, you ever just try to talk to some people about some of this stuff, and you might realize they have some views you would have never knew they had, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? Now I see why they say don't talk about politics, religion, or certain things at work. I understand now. I never understood that, but I truly do understand why now. Because you will hear a side of a person you didn't know before, and it could cause like a problem.
I mean, but look at what we've heard online in these panels in this space. Like, I know statistics that I've never known before I came online. Like, I know all kind of statistics, talking points. I learned this shit online.
Me too, and it's sad because I'm realizing like it could make us bad for conversation in real life. Because you know what I learned now? Mm-hmm. Now that I've had to look into statistics, this is the funny thing. It's going to like circle back. So look, okay, people in real life most of the time don't know the statistics. They don't know facts. They kind of speak from their anecdotal opinion, right? Mm-hmm. But because online, that kind of got exploited and it became dangerous. People started looking things up because people were spreading too much misinformation. So now I'm in the habit of like damn near fact checking everything I hear because I realize how much these niggas lie. Like, nah, the way they've lied about almost every statistic is disturbing, Freezy. It almost feels like that terrorism stuff I was talking about earlier. Like, they really have lied about 90% of the things they say on here, statistically. So because once I started realizing it was that bad, I look up everything now when they give me any statistic. So unfortunately, because I know some of this stuff in real life, when people, probably before I found the internet, people could say any ignorant thing to me and it was based on the anecdotal and it would be okay. But now I have way too much information in my head that I don't need, that their words are competing against in my head. And I'm trying to decide in real life when it's appropriate to say something or when you should just be quiet.
The reason why a lot of these conversations are disingenuous and also we hear a lot of lies is because these conversations are less informative and more competitive. People just be wanting to win, not edify. They want to win the conversation. That's what I've witnessed a lot. They don't really care about edifying and really working with each other and building. It's not a lot of building sessions. It's a lot of competition. That's what I see. And that's why I checked out a while ago, because I'm like more of a collective guy. I like to work with people, you know, not against people. You know, I like to build with people, you know, and you know, I'm prepared to be wrong sometimes and not know it all and not know some things, and I'm eager to learn. Most of these conversations are full of arrogance and ego and very competitive. It's not really about edifying and building with one another. And if you're not winning, if you feel like you're not winning, you're losing the conversation. Now here comes the insults. Now here comes tearing you down, you know, more lies, slander. Why would I want to participate in that? Yeah, it's just, I'm not interested in those type of conversations, you know. And I think it's more intense online. Why? Because we're in front of microphones and audiences, right? In real life, we don't have in a regular conversation in real life, you won't be talking to someone and then there's a crowd of people listening to y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in your living room, just looking at y'all talk or listening to you. No, you're just having intimate conversations, you know, private, whatever. But online, everybody is conscious that there's a chat, there are viewers, right? Subscribers, there's cameras, microphones. You know what I'm saying? so we have to take all of that into account. And so there's more performing than actual communicating, you know. So I just get tired of that. I get tired of that type of arena, that type of environment. I just don't want to participate in that, you know, because I pride myself. I think of myself as a genuine person, you know. So
that's how I feel too. I think that's what it is. I think it's ran its course. I don't like that either. I don't even enjoy communicating like that. Like, I don't like it. Like everybody's in a rush to get a word in, and sometimes when it's like a lot of times not even necessary. Like at that exact moment, to want to just jump like just all of that just irritates me at this point. I don't like it. Khalil said, "Yeah, you got fans. Who got fans?" Thank you, Kim, for the $10. Oh, I didn't play the song. Let me play the song for Easy.
Go ahead.
That man dancing on top of that car. So I'm sorry. I haven't really actually watched that video in a long time. And I don't know if he was looking at the screen. He was going off.
Khalil M said debating has always existed though. Yeah, but they call these conversations debates on these panels. They're not really debates though. They're just arguments. Debates are controlled. You know, they have real moderators. It's respectful. Your ass can get disqualified. You know what I'm saying? If you get too disrespectful, you get disqualified. You can lose points. It's not true debates that we're witnessing on here. It's just arguments. That's what it is. They call it debates, but it's not debates. It's arguments, man.
Yeah, I was actually on a debate team in high school. This is not debate. They're trying to make arguing uncontrollably sound good. So they're calling it debate, but debate actually means something. These are not debates. This is not how debates go. Even if you ever watch a presidential, like when they have the when the presidents have their debates or the candidates have their debates, you notice that there's a timer, there's a moderator, there's a one at a time so that everybody's points can be heard. Yeah, that's not what this is. This ain't that.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. So even when they say debates, I don't even entertain that because I was like, this ain't no damn debate. Come on, man. You just want to argue. And here's the thing, right? A lot of people come to this space ready to argue because that's what they're used to in their real life. And it's a reflection on, the relationships and all of that, So, I pay attention to that. And like I've argued myself. I've got drawn into arguments and everything. Not a lot, but I don't like to argue. I don't like just a lot of tumultuous disrespect thrown around. I just don't like that because it's not profitable. It's not profitable. To me, it's just a waste of time. Most of the time when I've engaged in those type of conversations, I always felt like I didn't get anything and I didn't give anything either. You know what I'm saying? I didn't contribute. Like the person that I was talking to, they didn't hear me, and I damn sure wasn't trying to hear them because you're too disrespectful. So it really be for nothing when you really think about it. Like, some people say it's therapeutic to yell and to argue like that. I don't know, but to me it just be for nothing. And I think about like we talk about the manosphere and a lot of these conversations. What has it done? That's why I challenged it last year. What has came from this? What? Nothing. Nothing.
So, I think there definitely was a time for me where I was like, it was interesting, it was fun, it was something new, something to do, and I could even accept it. Like I was accepting like what they consider a debate, right? I understand it. Why they, like the way they use the word, I do get it, and I participated in it. But I do think, I think we just start to outgrow certain things. I don't know. It's not. I think at the time we never seen anything like that before. Like the whole panel thing was new to us. There's not many times where you see 10 people or 8 people or 6 people in a conversation and everybody got to try to make their point and quickly. And so at a point, it was like, oh, okay. But new people are finding this stuff every day, to be fair. So, right, it could be old to us, but it's new to some other people who just coming across that stuff, So I get the appeal, but yeah, I'm just over it. To be honest. But I wanna thank you for coming up, Freezy. Do you have any final words? I'm at my 2 hours. I think I'm gonna just end it here.
Yeah, I want to say these conversations to me, they're not a real forum. It's more so like we're at a barbecue and we're drinking and we just high spirited and we're yelling at each other. We're trying to get our point across, and we know other people are at the barbecue, so we trying to show out. It's like just trying to show out and whatever. That's how I look at it. Sometimes it's okay for people to be up for a good showing out at the barbecue, screaming and yelling, try to get your point across. It's not really a real conversation, not really a real forum. But I do think that we should start conducting more real forums and taking it serious so we can edify one another. That's what I think. I do well when I'm up on my show just talking about my damn self. Or when me and you always do well, Venus, when you hit me link and we've done shows just me and you, even on my platform, we always do well. And there's a lot of edification that goes out. But for the most part, when it's a full panel and everybody's, I don't know.
So 2 things, I think that's why I'm not a fan of like a full panel anymore in general, because it is just naturally, the more people there are, the harder it is to stay on the topic. because you say 4 words and then person number 3 heard 1 word you said, and then that triggered them to think about something else, and then they add that in, and then now person number 6 heard a 1 word they said, now they heard something else, then it just starts going all over. And then the patience, right, waiting to talk, and then all of that. So I don't really like when there's too many people on the panel, unless you could really moderate, and there's very few people who can. But I feel you. I think I prefer conversations like this personally, but as you can see, that's not for this particular sector. That's not what it, the people like the chaos, and I get it. It's more like maybe what'd you say, dopamine, right?
Yeah.
So I understand it, but I'm saying personally, realistically, yeah, I prefer like calm conversations, even though I'm good at both, to be honest.
and I understand it too. Right. I understand it. I understand why people are drawn to it. Just label it correctly. That's all I'm saying. Stop calling it debates and stop calling it real conversations and stop doing that. Just label it what it really is. It's just hanging out and, having some informal conversations, yelling at each other and, being addicted to drama and confusion and mess. That's just what it is. Just say what it is. That's all I'm saying. Stop. People be trying to actually formalize this stuff. This shit, stop. I mean, come on, man. That's all I'm saying, man. But obviously there's a place for it, just like you said, Venus. We're on the internet, right? So there's a place for a lot of stuff on the internet. There's a place for, obviously there's a place for people just having conversations while they're sitting on the toilet, I guess, so there's a place for it all, but just call it what it is. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I gotta package it, and I don't know, because it's bad, but I'm good at both. I'm good at this. Like I know how to have a conversation and let people finish, but I also know how to exist in that chaos, which I don't want to anymore because it's just a lot. It's too much.
Here's the thing. I do too. I just don't want to no more because it's taxing.
Yeah, it is.
It's taxing. That's the thing, right? So, I think we talked about this in Bible study earlier today too, Venus. A lot of us can exist in that arena because a lot of us come from that. A lot of us come from dysfunction, and we didn't have really the examples we were supposed to have biblically coming up. So a lot of us grew up, in that type of confusion and tension and contentiousness. So we're good at it. You're not the only one that can exist in that. I can too, Venus, but I'm
saying you and I are good at it because we got sense. What I'm saying is everybody that be up there is not adding anything of substance to the conversation. So I don't mean like just because you can be in it. I mean you actually can think quick and make sense and have good rebuttals is what I'm saying. Like
right. Right. But at the same time, what you're doing is you're lending your intellect to an environment that's not, it's not going to
it's not conducive, it's not beneficial, it doesn't matter.
Right. It's like the Bible said, because you say this all the time, where it says throwing your
casting pearls upon swine.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I don't know. At some point in time, you say, why am I doing? Yeah. But I can honestly say I can understand how it could be exhilarating and when you get a chance to actually cuss a bitch out. Sometimes you just want to cuss a bitch out, you know what I'm saying? But
I really don't. That's never. Nobody believes, but that's really never.
No, not you. I'm just saying in general. So I do believe people do think like that. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, they do. I've heard people say that.
Yeah.
But funny enough, that's never my intention. But it don't take much. So This is I'm sorry, I just want to read this now from the King James. It says what is NKJV? That's something different than the King James.
You got the KJV, which is the King James version. Then you got the NKJV, which is a New King James version.
Oh hell no! What's the regular King James version?
Well, they're kind of similar, but they did small changes in the New King James version. I don't know why, but
I don't like that.
They kind of tried to make the King James version a little more modern with the wording and whatever. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, it was Matthew 7:6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls upon swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. This is the realest thing ever.
Read that last one again. Read that last sentence again.
Lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you.
Wow.
So not only are they going to destroy the pearls, then they're going to destroy you.
That's crazy. That's why I love the Bible, man. I'm telling you, like, and that's so true, you know. And you and I both have experienced this, Venus. Have we not? Come on.
No, that's why I had to go to the scripture. This makes me happy. Okay, I'm not nowhere near a Bible scholar or anything, but I just love that the people who know me, it's like 3 of y'all. Oh no, I love the book of Matthew. If I don't love nothing else, the book of Matthew just is my favorite, man. This is all the good stuff is in there. The book of Matthew and Proverbs for me. But the book of Matthew, I probably know the most. I read that book the most and I know the most. Anytime you're saying something I probably said, it probably came from here. But that's why I always say that one, because it. Oh my God. Wait, it disappeared? Let me see. Sorry, I was pulling up the scripture to show you. No, I shared it to the wrong one. Oh my goodness, Freezy. I want to start reading my Bible again. I was telling my client was listening to you with me in the car.
Yeah. Listen to me screaming.
No, she said she's gonna come next week. She said she's gonna download Discord because she was asking, like, who is that?
Stop playing, Venus.
My clients was listening to you all day. Let me tell you, when I first got there, I was trying to catch up on your show. So the first half of the day, they was listening to me, listening to your show from yesterday to today. Then the second half, you went to Bible study. So then I went from listening to the show to just clicking in the Bible study. And then me and my client was listening. Well, that's the whole time what was happening. I was trying to catch up on the show. So yeah, one of them was like, this was interesting because she was listening to you. It was all about Bible stuff because even the show yesterday, when I was playing it back today, you was kind of talking a lot about the Bible yesterday because of the conversation they were having over there. So that's funny. That's like what's going on all day in my suite. But anyway, so my clients was hearing Freezy all damn day. But yeah, it says, yeah, you see here?
Yeah, I see it.
Neither cast ye pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. God, yes, this is happening to me and you.
Look at the first sentence though. Give not that which is holy, right?
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna tell you something. If God don't care about nothing else, He care about what he deems His, which is holy. He does not want us to share what He deems holy with just anybody. He really does feel like what He feels like is holy is very special and valuable. And it's almost like we're letting people in on valuable secrets or something like that. And you know what I'm saying? That's how God feels about it. So He wants us to protect ourselves and especially His word. and the mysteries of his word, because everybody's not going to understand it. So even with you reading the Bible, Venus, and you furthering yourself in the word of God, let's say you're on a panel, Venus, and you're not even directly quoting scriptures, right? The spirit that you have adopted, you're bringing it with you everywhere you go. So just by your essence, God has affected you. The word of God has affected you. You're sharing yourself with degenerates, Venus, that don't mean you no good.
This is a fact, and I'm done with it, okay?
And they're so, when they detect, here's the deal. When these dogs detect your spirit, Venus, guess what? They're going to turn on you and they're going to try to rend you and destroy you. You know?
Yo, I do think there is something to it. It's going to sound crazy, but I'm telling you, the way these men react to me and obsess over me, the way they are, that shit is, I've never liked.
But here's the thing. It's not just men. What we're talking about,
spirits.
I'm pretty sure women have done this to you too. Probably not as often, but.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. It's maybe because there's way less women in the space.
Yeah.
So I do see it more. But no, I've definitely seen a couple of women do it. Yeah, they be kind of fixated on me too. And very jealous of me. And they think I don't know. And they'll do things like if they think I'm close to a man, they'll try to all of a sudden go get close to the edges. Yeah, this people weird on here. I'm just gonna leave that alone.
You're a quick thinker and your voice is very assertive. To a lot of men, that could be intimidating, right? But these men that actually perceive you in a certain way because of your assertive voice and your quick thinking, they don't really have a lot of wisdom on how to dwell with you. They don't know you. They have a lot of preconceived notions from their past dealings with probably, women that they've talked to.
Women that they think are like me, but let me tell them something. Y'all don't know nobody like me.
Right.
Nobody like me. Okay. I might sound like your mama, but I'm probably way smarter than your mama. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. I'm not your mama, nigga. Let me stop. Go ahead, Freezy. But I really mean that. I do
but that might be true though,
They're kind of saying the same thing. It is. You're right. They hear me, and they think they can place me in their heads with somebody familiar to them. But I promise you, I'm not familiar to you. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar to anybody. Because and my brother told me this a long time ago. He's like, yo, because on the surface, I appear to be what everybody else is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a gift and a curse because it gets you underestimated a lot. But it also got me as a privilege because I get underestimated a lot and overlooked a lot. There was a lot of advantages in that. If people think you're stupider than you are, they get a little more comfortable talking in front of you. They don't see you as a threat. So that actually has worked to my advantage a lot in my life. So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I've learned that it's not always a bad thing for people to think you're not smart, or people to think you don't understand, or people to think you're not competition. That's not always a bad thing.
Right.
But because of I fit a certain archetype, and that's happened to me my whole life though. I fit, I guess, a typical whatever kind of Black woman archetype, which I'm fine with. I love Black women. I love being a Black woman. I don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to once you get past the archetype and the stereotypical stuff, I just have a lot more depth and substance and logic than a lot of my counterparts. No shade to them, but I do. I just know this.
Well, this is what you've noticed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in your dealings and stuff. So
yeah.
So I mean, so that should actually help guide you more on where you place yourself, in certain environments and stuff. So. But
See, I ain't no
Good.
genius.
What'd you say, Venus? Go ahead.
I'm still one of them. I ain't no genius. No.
I mean,
Still a
but
woman.
you're intelligent. You're very intelligent, and you're very quick-witted, right? And your voice sounds assertive, right? So, in most men's head, they try to place this characteristics of a woman, a generalized characteristics where she should be soft-spoken at all times and not really vocal. And when any man talks, she should just be quiet and very very respectful and nice and kind and discreet. Now, here's the thing. A lot of those things aren't bad qualities, right? But here's where it gets misconstrued in the midst of conversations on these panels and everything, where this guy is not your husband and you don't really know him like that. You don't know what his faith is. You don't know how he believes, and you don't even know his core values, right? The only thing that anybody owes anybody is just an initial level of respect. That's the only thing that everybody owes everybody. That's why I'm really big on that. That's the foundation. Everybody owes everybody respect in the beginning because we don't know each other.
Yeah.
You haven't done it. You haven't said enough or done enough to even offend me. So I'm going to respect you and I'm going to treat you like how I want you to treat me. That's my thing. And so this is how men and women should handle each other. But men, especially in this space, what I've seen and witnessed is they try to apply marriage rules to just fly by acquaintances.
So
You understand what I'm saying, Venus?
Yes, and I agree with you about the qualities you named, like being soft spoken, being quiet when a man is speaking, being respectful. I don't even think you need to be somebody's husband to get that. I do think that's just being respectful. I think when you're on the internet where see in person, it's a lot easier to do that, right? Because you can see each other and there's some level of consideration. But if you, especially you see like on panels, even when it's like, let's say maybe 4 men and 2 women, you will barely even hear the women speak because the men tend to intentionally like drown the woman out, right? So while I think in real life that is appropriate, when you're in these conversations, which is probably why I do understand like why women don't need to be in half of them, and like honestly, but it almost is like you kind of have to be more assertive to be heard in these type of environments. If that makes sense.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of these conversations become sport.
Yeah.
So women are involved in this sport. Okay, let's break it down correctly. If I'm playing, if there are men playing basketball, let's just say these panels are a basketball court. If we're playing basketball with each other and there are women that's playing basketball too on the same court and we're on each other's teams and stuff. So when I pass the ball to you, Venus, do I expect you to not dribble and to just be timid? No, I want you to score. So that's what these panels become. They're very competitive. And here's the reality of it all. Women are included in this competitive environment when they participate in these conversations. So you kind of sort of have to hold your own in these conversations. You know,
Yeah.
you don't want to be bullied. You don't want to be overran. You know what I'm saying?
That was perfect. And yes, that's a great way to explain it. That really is a great way to explain it.
Yeah, that's what these panels are. It's a sport. So is very competitive. Remember, if it was more of a building session, and if it was more of like understood to be an edifying forum, to where we have actual bylaws and rules, and we actually have an agenda together collectively, then I would understand where women were expected to have more of a place where, you know, they allow the men to be in the forefront and women play their part, because we're moving as a collective uniformly because we have an agenda together. But that's not these forums. That's not these not forums, but that's not these panels. These panels is straight gladiator school. That's what these panels are. These panels are a sport. It's very competitive. And so when women hit the link, they're on their own. You understand what I'm saying? When the moderator passes you the ball, it's up to you to score. It's up to you to score. We're playing basketball against each other. So, you know, anytime I play basketball on the same court with women, and guess what? They do not cut any slack. Women that really know how to play basketball, they ain't cutting no damn slack. They gonna cross your ass over. You know what I'm saying? They gonna shoot an elbow to your ass. They gonna bump you. They gonna make their way to the rim, and they gonna shoot a layup, or, you know, they gonna try to break your ankles. They gonna try to do the same thing the men's doing, because they trying to win too. That's the nature of these conversations. But then they want to penalize you for knowing how to play basketball pretty good.
You know what? That's probably the best way I ever heard anybody, because you're right. Because that's why I'm like, I don't disagree with what they feel a woman should do for the most part, or even with everything you just described. And it doesn't even have to be a husband under any other circumstances. But like you said, we are participating in a sport, but you want that don't make sense. Right. You want me, I'm in the arena, but you want me to behave like I'm in your bedroom.
Yeah. They want you to get dunked on. You feel what I'm saying? They just want you to sit there and get tackled.
That's no, for real.
No, I'm not finna get tackled because you trying to hurt me. You trying to embarrass me. You trying to take advantage of me.
Hello.
Right? So that's why I said earlier, Venus, let's just call it what it is. Let's stop acting like these are formal debates and building sessions and edifying sessions, and we really have an agenda. No, we don't. We just trying to win. That's it. You just trying to win. That's it. And you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to lie. You're going to slander. You're going to assassinate characters. Right? And you might come with some truth too, mixed in with a little bit of that.
There's always a little bit of truth in it, but man,
right?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's be for real. So that's why I say I don't play around with these people on these panels. Come on, man. You're not gonna fool me. You're not gonna fool me. And then how you're talking on these panels, a lot of y'all definitely not living like that in real life. You know what I'm saying? This tenacity that you're showing on this panel, no. You need to exemplify that in your life. Go get you some money. Go get you a job. Go take care of your kids. Go be responsible. That same passion you have in winning this conversation, it would be better served in your real life. Stop trying to win. Stop trying to win on these panels and win in real life.
Hello. That's why I've been on here less and less. Oh my goodness. Look, Freezy, from my favorite book again. I think I said this the other day on the last show. Ye shall know them by their fruits.
That's a fact.
Everything I say is from the book of Matthew. I'm sorry. That just made me laugh. I was just going through the I guess the AI is doing like a breakdown of like some key scriptures or something from the book. I'm not exactly sure why it's showing up like this. Jesus provides a practical test for identifying. A corrupt tree cannot produce good fruit. If a leader influence leads to division, hatred, or spiritual ruin, the origin is revealed as false. Kevin Samuels. See that? A corrupt tree cannot produce good fruit. That's Kevin Samuels. I thought of immediately. It says
Right.
if a leader's influence leads to division, hatred, or spiritual ruin, their origin is revealed as false.
Well,
The
I
or
mean, yeah. Go
sorry.
ahead.
Mhm.
The tree could be a person or a group of people. The tree could be Kevin Samuels. The tree could be Antoine Daniels,
The
right?
main, yeah.
It could be the whole manosphere, right? You would know them by the fruits that they bear. And here's the thing. This is why it's important to pay attention to people's actions, because what is the correlation of fruit? When it says fruit, what is it talking about? Is it talking about what they say? Fruits, the breakdown of fruits is you would know a person by the deeds, by their deeds. That is the correct understanding. You would know a person by their deeds. Right? And so, oftentimes what they produce from their deeds. Go ahead, sis.
I'm sorry. If you're, because I know we're saying deeds as in actions, and I agree. Or even I've understood it before as like your results. Like if you have a family of people who love you, I would say that's a fruit, right? I
Yes.
was ask, so if somebody, because okay, the words when I said like the things they say, so if somebody lies on people and slanders people and manipulates and causes issues intentionally, is that considered technically there's words, but they're also actions because they're like
Well, they're not bearing any fruit. Like, so
that wouldn't be considered just bad fruit.
it's okay. So that would be considered a bad tree.
Okay.
Right? Because their deeds, somebody's deeds could be talking a lot.
Okay.
Right? Somebody's deeds could be just talking a bunch of shit. Lying, right? Causing confusion, causing hatred. Mm-hmm. This is what they're producing. Their deeds is talking too much and lying. You're causing confusion, right? That's a commandment not to lie. Thou should not lie. So that's a bad fruit. That's one of your deeds. That's an evil deed. You're lying, right? So a deed doesn't always have to be you actually doing something with your actual limbs on your body. Your mouth is could be an instrument as well, But most of the time, here's the thing, and there's good things that can come out of somebody's mouth. Pause. I'm just saying, there's good things that can come out of somebody's mouth that can actually inspire people, right? But ultimately, the deeds of a person should be how they live their life.
Okay.
A good tree actually does produces good fruit. Like it actually does work. A bad tree could either produce bad fruit or no fruit at all. So
okay. I like what you said earlier about, you said something like I'm wasting my intellect on degenerates. But the last thing I wanted to say was I agree, because what you find, like you said, it's for sport, right? And it took me a while to understand, because I really thought the word debate actually means something, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought they were debates. But when I realized that, take me out of it, just in general, when I realized that I could be watching one of these quote unquote debates, and let's say Fear No Mortals is the one making the actual points and proving them, but let's say she's arguing against like a very popular let's say who's a very popular girl. Like, let's say she's arguing against Tasha K, right?
Yeah.
But Fear No Mortals is saying the things that are correct and that are right, but Tasha K is popular. So
Yeah.
anything Tasha K says, they go, she cooked. Tasha K cooked her. Tasha K cooked, right?
Yeah, which happens all the time on the internet. So,
yeah. Right. But it took me a minute because I really thought if they're saying debate, then I thought the rules of a debate is whoever actually argues their point the best, for real. Like the point is the most important thing, not the person. But on here, the person is the most important thing, not the point.
yes. So
they reversed it. So
the point of a debate is to actually objectively prove your point, and for the people that's listening and watching to objectively make decisions on who was right and who was wrong, right? Not because of their status or celebrity. You know, it's the information, it's the points that was made, like you said. But that's not what goes on here on this thing we call the internet or YouTube, right? Tasha K is going to win most of the time because of her popularity and the favor that she's garnered amongst people because of clout. Who's more favorable, you know?
Right. So I get frustrated because I was for a long time foolish enough to think it was about truth. So I would get frustrated, like, okay, whether people like me or not, can't they just see that I'm right or this is true? But no, that's why I'm at the point where I'm at now, where I'm with you, where it kind of all feels pointless. Because if at the very least the truth can't be the truth, it we're not being integral at all, there what's the point of talking to anybody?
Yeah. Yeah. And so when you look at it from its true position, when you really look at it for what it really is, it's best not to participate. Sometimes we're fighting, like in the world, what it really is biblically, we're trying to win in the world. There's a scripture that says, the world is not going to respect your truth. You know, they don't even care. You actually was in the spirit when you told me that when I was dealing with what I was going through with Anton 2 years ago. You actually said that. You was like, it doesn't matter how much truth you have, Freezy. They don't care about that. They just want they just want the circus. They want the circus to keep going.
Right? Because I have been through them doing it to me. So by the time that happened with you, I have figured out.
Yeah. Yeah. So when in the world, the person usually who has the most favor and who's popular and who's the most well known has the most credibility. Just because of what it looks like, what they look like, what it seems like, obviously if they're more popular, they have to have more credibility. That's just the way. That's just the way most people perceive things, And with that being said, people usually are not going to side with believers, like true believers that choose to actually obey God and follow God. Most, usually those people aren't really popular in any room, because it goes against the world and how the world works.
Yeah, this is just not my world. The internet has.
I've been figured that out for myself.
My birthday's coming. Okay. I contemplated deleting this channel for my birthday. I swear. It's still a thought. Because it's like, this is just, ugh.
But I don't think you should delete your channel. Like, even like today, it was a very constructive conversation because you was intentional about, how you handled it. I think you just should be intentional with your channel, Yeah,
just talking about the things that I actually care about. That's what I know better.
Yeah.
It's not as, what's the word? Like popular. but I don't care. I really don't. I feel like this is not where I make my money, so that's
What
fine. But also, I feel like if I stay on that track, I will attract the audience who does enjoy that because there are way bigger channels than me that do just fine, and they don't do all the chaotic stuff at all. They just have way more support. So it's not.
that's a fact. And that's a fact. And here's another thing. We got to stop thinking that God is boring. God is not boring. God is very entertaining as well. And God is very amazing. And I think not you, I'm just saying people think God is boring and he's not. God is funny. God is entertaining. God is amazing, right? God is big. God do things big. He created this world, so we know he do it big, right? So I think what has to happen is for us to stay down long enough with God for the come up, right? Like we learned in James 4 said, let your laughter turn to mourning and let your and to sit in your affliction at, in the beginning, we're going to have to just go through those trying times and in the end, allow God to uplift us. So I just feel like if we don't adhere or resort to the world's shenanigans to try to garner attention, and we actually stay faithful and we stay down with God, God is going to utilize our strengths, and he's going to draw attention to whatever platform you create or whatever business you create, right? But he's going to make sure it's done his way and not the world's way. But the problem is most people don't believe in the way God does things. They just don't believe it's going to be effective, right? Because in the beginning, when we start out doing it, we don't have a lot of there's not a lot of people paying attention. They don't. A lot of people, it seems like most people don't care about, that type of stuff, But we know it's possible. We know it's good. And we know it's effective because throughout history, the biggest conversations, the biggest topics has been about God, right? God, the biggest conversation has been about God. Even with atheists, atheists are still curious. They want to have these conversations.
They want to talk about God, which gets on my nerves,
Right. So God is very popular.
I don't own God, so I got some nerve, but it pisses me off.
Yeah. So God is very popular. We just got to actually submerge ourselves long enough to actually get in that spirit to where we were operating on all cylinders. We have to really be in the spirit, man. Like last night when I was doing the show last night, I was really in the spirit, man. Like when I was screaming and I was like,
I fell asleep.
I got in the spirit. Like I was screaming and yelling and man, I had fun on that show last night. I really did. Like it was just so stimulating and good, But I understood it wasn't me. It was God did that, And here's another thing, Venus, if you notice one thing about me, like the shame, humility, I've been going out the window. I'm not afraid to scream online. Like I'm not really that conservative when it comes to my speech. Like I let it go, sis.
I know.
So a lot of people think that's entertainment. No, I really be like that, sis.
Oh, it'd be funny. I thought I don't know. It is entertaining though when you start start yelling.
But that's what I'm saying, sis. That's God too. You feel what I'm saying? Let God use you. Like people think that's God's way of entertaining, but I be in the spirit though. You feel what I'm saying? Some people be try to be so conservative and try to be so like godly. What they think is godly, quote unquote, is boring because they're too focused on seeming or appearing godly. or what they think their version of godly is. God is everything. I let God use me, man. I'm telling you, man, I let it go. I let it go. You know, I've learned to let it go. I've been in the spirit so much once sometimes, like it don't even seem like it's me talking. I'm telling you. So this is just, it comes with just submerging ourselves in the spirit, fasting and praying, reading our Bibles, getting in the spirit, believing God for a long time, and not fearing judgment on how the world is going to look at us or react to us. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we hold back that spirit for the fear of being ridiculed by the world or worldly people or made fun of or what is it called? I forgot the other word I was looking for, but yeah. That's why a lot of times people hold back and they try to stay reserved. They try to reserve, you know, I let mine go. I'm telling you, I let mine go, man. Because I just get tired of just being self-conscious about what people gonna say. Well, no. Whatever, however God show up in me, you gonna see it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I really want God to possess me everywhere I am, no matter where I am. And I'm gonna tell you, it's really bad in the midst of, like, when men are in the midst of a lot of other men try to still maintain that macho-ness and they don't want to, for the fear of being made fun of or ridiculed or something like that. You know, no, man, you got to let God use you. You got to let God possess you. Men and women do that. And then you will see and feel the full effects of the Most High God. God is funny, man. God is funny. God is humorous. God is serious. You know, he's passionate. It's a lot, man, I'm telling you. But we only attribute those qualities to Satan and the world and the devil. We feel like the funniest people are worldly people, Satan and devils and, you know, worldly, you know, you know what I'm saying? No, God, no, no. Because I've seen people do it in the world. I've seen people do it, like use their skills for worldly reasons. Like when I look at somebody like Prince or Michael Jackson, these people were very talented, and they actually it's sometimes when I used to watch them perform, it's almost like they let themselves go in a certain spirit. It's almost like they let themselves go and they get possessed.
Yeah, for sure. Beyonce too.
But they do that for sis. But sis, they will allow themselves to be like that for Satan.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? They will do that for the world, but why can't we get used like that for God?
Great.
God can make me moonwalk too. You feel what I'm saying? Like Michael Jackson ain't the only one. Man, listen, God can make me moonwalk too. God can make me shout. God can make me entertain people in his way and be effective. But we just feel like God is lame. I'm tired of people painting this picture like God lame, and whatever the world is, whatever the world represents, or these devils, they the cool ones. Man, God ain't lame. You know? And this is how we need to be as men and women, you know, in the spirit, you know. That's truly walking in the spirit. Letting that embarrassment go and the shame, live in your humility, live in it, accept it, and just let it go. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just wondering if hey Eric, where you been? He's so hopeful. You remember?
I ain't seen him in a long time.
I know. Where you been at, Eric? What did I miss? A whole bunch of stuff. I'm about to end the show, but I gotta think about what you said because that's been on my mind. Like, yeah, I don't need to be wasting intellect on degenerates or my time or anything, you know? Oh yeah, just something to think about. You back in the YouTube streets? You, Eric, you should go back wherever you was. I'm sure it's more peaceful. Um,
It's about go back where you.
don't even come back here. It's ghetto. But yeah, it's just a thought because I'm like, I kind of wanted to delete my channel because that would force me to be done with it. Like, I could murder Venus. Like, I could literally kill her off of my storyline in my real life. Just delete her everywhere and then be done.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna tell you not to do it because God might be leading you to do that. I don't know. You might have been praying about this. I don't know. So just pray some more about it.
Yeah. I only like to keep it because of what you said earlier. Like, yeah, most of these things, most people in my real life don't care about. And at least I have an outlet to discuss certain things that might be important to me that maybe nobody in my life care about, but there's people somewhere in the world who care about them. I don't know.
Yeah. I think once we reach a point where we don't care about what people think anymore and what God thinks, you know, we're going to be operating more effectively.
Yeah.
I think a big part of the problem is we let people frustrate us. You know, we allow people to influence us even in a negative way. We care about what people think too much, right? And it could have an effect on us to where it makes us act a certain way, behave a certain way. People can have power over us. But that's why I said just let it go. When, you know, so when you said you was thinking about deleting your channel, I was like, okay, I'm not, you know what? I'm gonna stop telling her to not delete her channel because maybe that's her form of letting it go. Just letting it go, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but
yeah. You're right, FNM. She said there's nothing wrong with taking a break to the side was best. Stay away from channels that are not productive. True. Cause it's like it's not easy to even get a channel monetized and all that. And so I get it.
That's another thing, consideration.
I think that's why most people say, oh, don't just do that. Just take a break. Cause, you know, at least at any point you could pick it up, which I've done, right? I just started streaming again. But even that, like it just I don't know. I probably won't delete it, but sometimes I do want to
Instead of deleting your channel, just delete the YouTube app.
Sometimes I want to kill Venus because just too much be going on with Venus and who Venus is attached to, or by default, just because of the community and just all that. For real. Like I've come to realize I'm not like a normal person on YouTube, and this is what I mean, Freezy. Like, it's not a bad thing because probably the same thing happened to you, but it's like anytime I go 90% of the places, I can't just participate like a regular chat person because the content creator is going to pay attention to everything I say. And they're going to either get mad at me behind the scenes because of something, or they're going to put me on a spot and say, hey, hit the link. And I got to feel bad because I understand you being polite, but that happens every time I go anywhere. Hit the link, like a pressure almost. Or if they kind of sort of maybe know me or have any proximity to me, if I say anything, they're offended, they're upset behind the scenes about it. It's just like, I don't know, people's reactions to me, people I don't even know. Me realizing I have way more power over people than I thought I did. Like, my opinion really bothers people, for real. Which doesn't make sense to me, but like, a lot of men get really up in their arms and their feelings about what this random woman on the internet is saying. Out of all of the people here, it just be feeling like I can't exist like a regular person because I'm just too popular. Whether it's good or bad, it's not. I don't get to just have a fun experience like other people in the chat. It's always somebody wants me to come perform with them, which is that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying like it's always though I don't ever get to have the chat experience, which that's how I started. Like
Right.
being in the chat, but I don't get to do that anymore. And maybe that's just something every content creator has to go through. So it is what it is. Nothing to complain about, but I'm just saying, like, it's just a lot of, I don't know, the whole Venus thing is just starting to be like a lot.
Yeah. Well, Venus has to protect her peace. That's your first priority.
Yeah, I'm not Venus for real. You understand what I'm saying? I'm separating myself for a reason. Like the whole Venus thing is just a lot, you know?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Well, we talked about this in Bible study. Our first priority is to protect our peace and don't let anybody disrupt that, you know. So what's going on, Tommy? Shout out to Tommy.
Hi, Tommy. Hi, Joshua. Sometimes I feel like Venus is more of a thing than my actual self.
And you're not just a random person in this space. You're very well known. And when you do hit a panel, it could increase people's views by increments because you're very well known and you're a popular person, not just a popular woman in this space, but a popular, channel platform in this place. So, and you've been a part of a lot of heavy conversations, memorable conversations, so you're going to bring attention and you're going to have a target on your back, right? Because there are going to be men that's going to see you and say, oh yeah, I'm about to get me some stripes because I'm going to challenge Venus, So you got to take all of that into consideration.
Even when you say that, it's like, think about that. Like if that's your, I don't know, maybe I just view men differently. And I just feel like if that's what's going to get you cool points. Like, oh, I challenged a woman today. Look at me. Like, what is that?
No, they didn't challenge a woman. They challenged the voice of Venus.
A woman.
It's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Is it?
Yes, because I'm pretty sure you've been on panels with other women who are not as well known and don't have the history that you have, where men don't really, target as much, So it's not just that you're a woman. You are a woman, but you're Venus as well, and you have your own characteristics. Like we talked about, your voice, you're very quick with it, your history, right? People have tuned into you in the past on several occasions, on memorable occasions. A lot of women don't have that that type of history that you have, right? So it's not just you being a woman, Yeah.
Joshua said Freezy is talking the truth. I mean, I hear you, but I'm a woman. That's all I think about first. Like, but I understand what you're saying, and that's kind of part of what I'm saying. Like, and you could probably relate to this too. Once you become any kind of content, because I don't consider myself a content creator. I just come up here and talk. I don't really put a lot of effort into anything, my production or but you content creators could experience this probably on a way higher level. Like even the way you said that, right? You say you're a woman, but you're not, right? And I know you don't mean any harm, but what you're saying is true. But the same thing happens to you guys. It's like you're not people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, yeah, you're not a person. You're this like idea. And people do that to celebrities a lot too. Like
That's a
people
fact.
feel like it's okay to do and say any and everything about these people, no matter how horrible, because they're forgetting the part that is a person. Like,
Yeah.
but that is a whole person with feelings and emotions too. Like that's not a.
Well, they
But
go from being a person to a character. Right? You're not a person anymore. Now you're a character that they
do with what they please.
well, yeah, you know, that they've painted in their head. They have this idea of who you are from listening to you, watching you. Now they have this fixated character in their head about you. You are a character now to them. You're not just a person, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of sickening that too, right? Because people think that they know you because they've heard your voice a lot. And I'll say this, I think it's fair to assume that you can learn some things about a person if you hear them talk enough. But I think the unsafe part is thinking that they actually know you. Like, you understand? Like that just be killing me. Like I just be I was reading some things people were saying about my personal life the other day, and I was thinking to myself, out of everything that has gone on in this space and the way these men behave, why would me, a woman in my right mind, ever mention a relationship to y'all? Like any man I may or may not be dealing with, expose him to y'all, y'all to him. Like what? Who in their right mind would do that? So the assumption that there is no one because there's no one that they know about, you understand, is annoying. Like this is why you have no when they don't know what goes on in my life, right? But it's like, why in the hell would I bring anybody I care about anywhere near you people?
That's
I
a
would
fact.
never. I would never.
Yeah.
Any
And I don't feel like you're being cruel saying that. It's just it's just factual.
Like any man that I actually valued having in my life, meaning I want him here. Why would I be talking to y'all about him? Why would I be bringing him in front of y'all? Like that would benefit me none. We got a bunch of men who are jealous of me already. We know you. All you would try to do is fuck up my relationship. We know,
You know
that.
what? Venus, you know, I'm not, there's no disrespect to nobody, but I'm gonna just be honest with you, Venus. Just levy backing off what you just said. People who actually develop these YouTube relationships from YouTube, and both of them are visible on YouTube in this space. That shit, to me, that shit is different. Like, you got to be a special type of people to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
now,
you said,
strong. Some people could do it, but I ain't knocking them because if the person I was messing with was already a content creator, then what can you do? You know. But if they're not,
I know what I can do.
Act like you don't know each other, right?
No, I'm not finna date you.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not finna do that. Like if we do get serious, man, something got to give. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Some got to give, you know, and listen, I guess it's one of those things where it's to each his own.
You said create some content. Hell no. Hell no.
It's my hell.
He don't know how jealous and vindictive these men are jealous of me by myself. I want you to understand that, Eric. So let's say I came on here tomorrow. Hey guys, this is who I'm dating. Here's his page. There will be 100 niggas in his DM saying anything and everything to try to get the man to leave me. That's what happened.
That's crazy.
Think about it. They lie on me to me. If people are willing to lie on you straight to you, who is anybody else? No, I'm sorry. That part just irritates me sometimes when people be like, this is why you ain't gonna know me. Like, you don't. How do you know any of this? I would love to know.
Yeah. It doesn't even know if they know or not. You know, that's how I feel about it, because in the grand scheme of things, they're not really a real factor in your life, you know.
No, I'm just telling you, it's annoying when imagine if I came
Yeah.
to you, Freezy, and I'm talking to you about you with all the confidence in the world,
Mhm.
with all these details that are not true, but I'm just always talking about you like I know. And like at some point, it's like, what the fuck?
I mean,
Like,
you know, I've experienced that too, right?
right.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, at a certain point, it's just like it's annoying because it's like you
Well,
want to
what it is,
yourself, but then it's like, what is the point? Because like I told you, that doesn't really do anything. People want to lie, but then sometimes your ego will just want to prove people wrong and just show them real quick. So it just be a lot going on in my head.
to be honest with you, sis, another thing is it shows that how much they're invested in you to
I'm
even
telling
say these things about you, right? They're very invested in you, you know. So
you, and I say this, and nobody hears me. And I be trying to help them. I'm like, yo, y'all are way too invested in Venus. I promise you. Y'all got conspiracy theories about my womb, about all type of shit
shit,
that
they said I wasn't. They said the truth is about Freezy that he's not even married.
oh my god.
Hell, they said about me. They said I've been lying the whole time. I ain't even. And they said it like they knew, like they had facts. But like, damn, they'll go to that extent.
So I heard I can't have kids. Then I heard I got a bunch of abortions. Then I heard the reason I can't have kids is because I had a bunch of abortions. Then I heard I was a hoe. So I mean, I don't know. They got a whole lot of yeah, overly invested is an understatement. I don't know. Because I be really sitting here like, damn, I can't think of one person in this whole internet who I sat down and made up details about their life. Like I'm honest to God. There's no one who's ever been that important enough for me to even waste my time doing it. Like nobody.
I think the foundation of that is just hatred, man. It's hatred trying to destroy your. It's that spirit of trying to destroy you, like this, you know, assassinate your character, right? Destroy how people, you know, view you. It's just destruction, and that comes from hatred. It comes from hatred, right? And to me, that's at the root of it all, hatred.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. But I mean, you got a bunch of strangers who hate you for real.
Yeah, but what it is
they're making me hateful because now I hate them niggas too. But I have a reason. I have a reason.
But sis, here's the thing. The hatred really spawns from how they actually feels about them, how they feel about themselves. They're just projecting it, right? They attack people like that because of how they actually feel about themselves.
For real.
They hate themselves. So they will make up outlandish lies about you to get people not to like you, because deep down inside, they don't like themselves and they think other people don't like them either. So they try to cut you down to size to where they feel like they're at, you know?
You know, the sad part,
you.
Men, like this is men doing this shit. Men. And it's like all over the place.
I agree with that. Yeah.
They travel in packs.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're abusive as fuck.
I've experienced that from a couple of women, but mostly as men. It's mostly men.
Oh yeah, women. That's before the internet. I would have said that's a woman thing. I really would have, but the internet showed me these men are not. They're like girls, I guess.
Yeah, but what we learned in Bible study, it applies, right? If we stay in order and we stay obedient to Him, He's going to fight our enemies for us.
No, that's the whole fact. Because I'm telling you, it's not even cool. When I really go to God about people, they be in trouble. For real. Like I've seen it a lot of times. They really do be in trouble. It's like telling your parent, the parent who don't play, It's like, ooh, you in trouble. But for real, 'cause that's why it's rare, to be honest. Most people don't get me mad enough where I'm really mentioning them to God, especially by name. But I'm just noticing the times that did happen. No, I really did see them get a consequence, like a real bad one. Now, I don't know if that's coincidental or not, but every time I did see it.
Well, you know, all I can say is God don't play about me. You know, so what I've learned is you really can just sit back and let God handle it, you know? And that's it. I learned that, man. And God will reveal everything in the end. He's going to reveal who was real and who was fraudulent. That's how I look at it, you know?
Yeah.
I think we give people too much power than they really deserve. You know, I try to keep it in perspective. God, all power is in God's hand. And I believe that. And whatever slander comes our way, Venus, it just comes from hatred. It's just hatred, and it's not love, right? It's just wanting to destroy you, right?
I'm a powerful being. They don't really know.
That's a fact. Keep repeating that.
No, it's a fact. I mean, people in real life have tried to. I'm not a typical person, and I'm not even trying to be like. I'm really not. I'm just saying, like, y'all have no idea.
Oh, don't talk about it.
But think about it. Like, take like 80 niggas, like a whole bunch of men who have been trying to, and they can't. That's how you know I'm not typical at all. I seem typical. I'm gonna keep saying that, but I'm not typical. I sound typical, but I'm not typical.
Man, you finna make me catch the spirit in here, man.
I look typical, but I'm not typical.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, those are fact. I'm not even being arrogant. I'm just being honest to God. I am way more than what I look like, sound like, talk like, think like. Y'all have no idea. That's why that
sound like you got God on your side to me. That's what it sounds like.
Hell yeah. That's why that stuff don't work. But after a while, I'm still a person.
You know, the internet is a funny place, man. People will try to paint a narrative about you. They will develop some type of
It's a weird obsession at this. I'm gonna call it what it is. There is an obsession that I could name you at least 10 men have with me on this site. And I'm not kidding, Freezy.
That's crazy.
This is what I mean by obsession. Like
it truly is an obsession, though.
Yeah. And it's annoying.
It's an obsession, man.
At all. It's annoying.
It's an obsession to the point where you ask yourself, why are you even worried about me this much? Why are you emphasizing me this much?
Yeah, why
don't you have your own life to live? Don't you have your own things to take care of? Why are you emphasizing me this much?
Nah, it'd be the conspiracies. Like once you start talking about my womb, my relationship status, my inability or ability to have kids, like once you start, where the hell all of this? Like, why are you thinking about me? What the?
That's a fact.
That's crazy.
That's a fact, man.
I don't talk about none of those things. I'm making my business. Certain things that are a part of my private life are gonna stay that way. That's me protecting me, right?
It get to the point where you have to tell them, like, hey, man, you kind of getting too consumed with me.
I say it all the time, and this is why I said the other men ain't shit either, because they sit around. They know that something's wrong with that. They don't say nothing to each other. They allow each other to go deeper and deeper into a very problematic state of mind. Like it's very problematic.
It's very problematic. I'm telling you. And it's nothing that you caused. Like you didn't do nothing to these people. You didn't you know,
Yo,
you
half of
didn't.
them I never spoke to.
That's
I
crazy.
went to DJ Wish Doctor channel the other day.
Who?
This dude, DJ Wish Doctor, right?
Yeah.
I was in his chat.
Mhm.
This dude I've never spoken to before, Freezy. As soon as he saw me right in the chat, he ran to the panel so fast. He started talking about me, how I look, and he went on this long rant. Like you could tell he was waiting for an opportunity to be heard by me. For me to hear him, I guess.
That's
Like
okay.
an opportunity to be somewhere where I was, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this shit is weird. But that happened to me in a Discord before too. When I told you I left a certain Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Somebody I didn't know losing their fucking mind about me. Losing their mind. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Something's wrong with these men. And that I'll tell you, that one was worse. That man wanted to kill me. He threatened to kill me. He threatened to hang me. He threatened to put his hands on me. He threatened me with voodoo. This man was going crazy in that Discord. I don't know that man from nowhere.
It's not.
You think any of the other men said anything to him, or you think they defended him? Which one?
Man.
That's why I had to go. But yeah, they think that like that's appropriate. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. The reason why he did it and the reason why other men allowed it to happen is because they haven't dealt with the core issues in their own life that, you know, which causes these triggers. It's not you. It's something that they haven't even addressed in their own life. Right? And so now they're using you to say as a trigger or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now they're lashing out at you. It's never you. It's something that they have not actually addressed in their own life. And that's been going on a lot. That goes on a lot with a lot of these people on these platforms. Mm. They have issues that they have not addressed. And so they'll take it out on you. It's just like a dysfunctional, toxic relationship, right? Instead of actually addressing their own personal issue, they will physically or verbally abuse you. You know, like this is textbook. That's textbook abuse.
On here, you know that?
Huh?
That's what started making me flip out on here. You know that? Because I remember I said that I'm not no emotional punching bag. Like that used to make me angry and to make me flip out. That's when I started going off on them because I used to be like so insulted. Like, why do you think I'm here to be a personal punching bag? I'm not. The hell? No, but you're right. No, you're dead right. But some
of them
going
on, hustler and muscular? What's going on, bro?
Some of them, can we just call it what it is? Some of them just are abusive, though. Like, I'm sorry.
It's abusive, man. It's abuse. I'm telling you, they're very abusive because they have not addressed the issues in their own life. Mm-hmm. Right? And you are a punching bag to a lot of these people. I was a punching bag. And probably going to be a punching bag in the future. You know?
Oh, no, I be punching. That's why now people think I'm so evil, but that's why I punch back and I punch real hard. That's why. Because no.
I get to the point where you just feel sorry for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just be like, man, I don't even want to punch you. Like, I just feel sorry for you because I know it ain't me. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Sometimes when you get to that point, you don't even take it personal no more. You be like, man, you got issues. You need to go deal with that shit.
That's a fact.
And you need to go deal with that shit because I know it ain't me. It can't be me. You emphasizing me. You're trying to construct something about me. You're saying it's the way I talk. It's something I said. It's my content. You're trying to make issues about me, and I know damn well this shit can't be about Freezy. It can't be.
Yeah, that's true.
It can't be about me because I never disrespected you. I ain't never did nothing to you. I ain't never did. What are you talking? The worst I probably did was say something that you disagree with. But ain't we grown? Yeah. We're not going to agree with every damn thing. We grown. We grown people. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Taz? Yeah, I'm just saying. So I know it can't be me. It can't be me. You need to go address whatever you got going on in your personal life. That's why I stopped taking a lot of this shit personal, man. You need to go address. You got some other stuff going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? You need to go take care of that. You need to go get some help. Yeah. You ain't finna be making me feel bad out the blue. That wouldn't be going on. They be trying to make you feel bad out the blue. Where does it come from?
Out the blue. Hey, Tars. Hey, Hustle and Muscular. Yeah, I don't know, but the theories about me and shit, I feel like a low-key famous person. I'd be like, damn, what was this? About little old me? Me? That's crazy.
In the grand scheme of things, I don't even believe that shit be that serious. Like, yeah, I don't even believe it's just, I don't know, man.
Hi, Winchime.
What's going on, Winchime?
Y'all coming in and we ending the show now. It's 12 o'clock. Y'all definitely gotta go, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go because you know how we do. We talking for real.
All day and night. And night. I was about to quote that Michael Jackson. You got me working night and day. Yeah, I appreciate you coming up as always.
Of course. Oh, that was my final thoughts. That last 2 hours we just did, that's my final thought. Yeah.
Okay. All righty. I'll see you next time.
All right, sis. Love, sis.
Okay. Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna do another show because I didn't get, and it's nobody's fault. I just I didn't get through all of what I wanted to get through in terms of the patriarchy conversation that people are having, because it's like multi-layered, because then there's a piece where it goes into the decentering men, which is also, none of these are new conversations. I'm just getting around to them, but they've been going on for like the past 2 years. I feel like these are new trends. So yeah, I think next time I want to talk about the decentering men conversation, or do a part 2 to this one. But thank everybody for listening. Please hit the like button. Everybody have a good night. Share with a friend, guys, so we could like grow the channel. Hopefully, like share to people in your real life or who are not in this space at all, but who might like the conversation. With that being said, Joshua, I'll catch y'all later. Bye.